Up there. All right, guys, good luck. And what do we got? Do you have anything there?
To lead them off with? Stay golden, pony boy.
Stay cold.
Golden.
Stay golden, yeah.
Stay golden, pony boy.
All right, guys. Big boys, that way.
What up, everybody? Just going to throw it out there. You know, we did give you an extra 2 minutes in the morning, but, you know, promptly at 2 o'clock, already in that vacay mode and cold and frigid. So, California, well, I don't know. It's probably not that cold.
No, it's cold in California. We heard that this morning.
Well, I mean, I guess it's all relative, right? I consider that to be very cold.
Yes,
like,
well,
to me,
of course. You go there for the sun, but it's street will get some good.
But it's always beach weather. Where you? Oh, sorry.
He's going to Mexico.
Oh, my bad. I misheard him. I thought he said Calo.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. He's going to Mexico, which is still going to be. Look, you got to have vacation, got to have fun. I actually just realized I forgot that Unity even had a story this morning, and I'm glad we did because all it did is sell right back there off. I feel like I heard Adara already. We're going to go to Adara for. Of course, Fed meeting minutes have just dropped. Not always a market mover, but they matter.
These minutes are more or less what you might have expected if you've been listening to the Fed speak since that meeting. So long story short, I'm going to look more into this after, but just to give you guys a quick recap here before I step away for the rundown. We do have participants apparently suggesting that under their outlooks, it'd be appropriate to keep rates unchanged for the rest of the year. So again, looks like a good handful of these Fed participants would be comfortable keeping rates unchanged for the rest of the year. Apparently also, many of the participants did favor the rate cut in October, but some among them said they could have supported no change, and that matches with what we've already heard from Fed speakers so far. So again, even the Fed speakers that did vote to cut rates would have been comfortable keeping rates held in place. Back to you.
All right. Well, Fed rate minutes are not doing too much here for the market, but as you can see, you know, I only have one trade on right now. It's short IBIT. It's $1. It's the same trade that we left you guys with at 10:30. We took it. It's just bleeding down. I mean, I wanted to try to hold this all day, and we're doing it. So right now, IBIT downside. I have 10% left. It's not a huge trade there. But there goes IBIT, and there goes, I was going to say DraftKings. I was looking at DraftKings underneath 30 again, but there it goes, 89,000 right now. We'll see if we can find a bid at some point here for IBIT, but that's the only position I'm in right now. So we're excited for Nvidia. Should be interesting. Probably a flat trade on Nvidia heading into the report.
You never know.
No, you never know.
Like Nvidia, remember Nvidia's at like 4:20-ish, and they tend to be on time. As I try to get myself into the chat here. Sometimes it can be a bit earlier, but we got Palo Alto as well. I don't want to forget about them. Why is it not letting me log into it? Yeah, well, Palo Alto as well going to be, I think, a big deal. I mean, come on, like cybersecurity matters. So yes, it's the Nvidia story. It's all the excitement around whether they can beat expectations, which at this point, for them, beating expectations is baked in. It's the call probably going to matter a heck of a lot, maybe even more so than some of the numbers. I don't know if maybe margins will matter. We'll definitely be paying attention to that, and then see how some of the other names are able to react off of whatever Nvidia does. That 7% expected move, I don't know, I'm inclined to think it's such a big market cap, it'll be tricky for them. It'll be difficult to move that much. It's just it's such a giant as it starts to roll over at the volume-weighted average prices you see. It is up a couple of points today, but look at AMD, however. So Nvidia, while under VWAP and up only 2%, not only, up 2%, AMD down 4 at the low of the day. So if they're selling something going into this report, it's not Nvidia.
Right.
It's advanced micro devices. So this is something we'll, of course, always keep a watch on this. Part of the whole AI is a bubble, like everybody says. Come on. Everything is a bubble eventually because you just keep printing money, and then you're inflating something, right? You could be inflating whatever asset bubble. It's just wherever the money goes to. Right now it happens to be AI. That said, long time till we get to it. I am in that Beyond Meat dollar break, but that's pretty much it for me right now. And there was a nuclear story. There was a story for the nuclear names. I think you guys got that. The U.S. looking for, I think, 10 more reactors. So OKLO was a big runner. And OKLO was, well, I mean, last I had looked, it was approaching the high of the day. Now it's only at the volume-weighted average price. All right, so thought maybe that was stronger than it was. Don't know if that's going to continue to be a trade, but it is a bit of a recovery day for some of the nuclear names. Like GE Vernova was up like 5 or 6%. once again defying my chances of getting my stink bids. Every time I think it's going to break down,
It doesn't?
it just doesn't go.
Yeah.
And then, but
Go ahead,
I always say to myself, if that ends up happening and it just does this for too long, if I get to the next quarter and we're still here, then I just buy where we lie. You know, I wanted to give it some more time to break down after earnings. But if we're still here in January in the same price range, then I buy in January and don't worry about the dip buy.
Yeah, it's just, someone said it's just money there. We'll figure it out. Yeah, no, look, I'm actually pretty pleased with the way NVIDIA is trading here off of this level. I mean, I'm glad that we're not absolutely getting crushed here. This actually gives us room into 200 now, you know, for this report. It's one thing if you're reporting up here, you know, then down here it's like, oh my God, what happened? But we've already made that move down and sort of self-corrected there over the last 2 weeks. So I think NVIDIA has a chance to take out the all-time high tonight. So let's give that a shot. I just want to think positively and think that that is the chance that we have. I'm not sure what story other than demand and forward guide will bring this thing down, but you know, we're going to wait to see for NVIDIA. AMD, a completely different story, of course, as AMD just continues to bleed out, like another 4%. And this is what I mean, like, you know, raising capital at certain points, right? Like I was long AMD and got out at 25% or so up here. And that was just lucky because of the way it's happened. I mean, you could have got some out here and been pretty good with it when it tanked down, and then this happens. So you're just like a couple stories away from these names going back to the high side. But I think it just goes to show you got to take some out when names go parabolic. And we do want to remind everybody that the noise in the background there, you know, we're obviously working on that desk. You can see Russ over there just sawing away. So I know there's been some complaints there on the chat, but we are well aware, man. And, you know, and we're doing our best to hurry up and get this done. And the thing is that you can only get so much work done after hours and all this kind of stuff.
I think you explained before, like it's a condo. This is a condo building we're in the bottom of. So they got to do the work during hours. And, you know, ultimately you guys can see the progress and it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah. So, it's all good. All right. So we're, you know, we're excited, you know, to show everybody what we have coming through. And we do have, again, Neil Nadera tonight, and then we had Adam yesterday as a new tryout host. What did Brendan call it? It's like American Idol of Tradertv.live or something like that?
American Idol would be a good way to put it. That's not what he said.
What was it?
He called it America's Top Model.
Oh, okay. Well, same thing, yeah. So we're trying some of these.
I mean, which one would you use? Like, one of them is like one of the most famous contest shows of all time, and the other one is America's Top Model.
Yeah, well, it could be, American Idol. So, I mean, that's what I was saying, like Trader TV Idol or something like that. But that's kind of like, anyways, there's going to be someone else joining me tomorrow, so that should be good. He did a great job last night, Adam, for sure. Randy wants to put his application in for host of the 4 p.m. show. Yes, I told that already. 4 p.m. But every time I look over, and you're like, you're out of here soon, right? On the road? Yeah. There we go. You can we'll get you to Starlink or something, so no matter where you are, you know, we don't get that solid connection. Starlink? The Tesla. Yeah.
Starlink's great.
You can try to run that into your phone. How's the, here, take the mic. I want to ask you something about what you guys are doing back there. How's the desk moving along? We go to the 2-shot here, Andre. There you go, thank you.
Stainless steel trim on the inside, perforated.
What is that?
And then
the mic is turned off.
Oh.
There you go. Say again.
Hello. Little finishing touches on the desk. Stainless steel trim on the inside, perforated, let the heat out. Yes, this thing makes a lot of heat.
Yes.
Nobody will ever be cold sitting at that desk.
Well, I don't know why you're looking at me.
I don't know either. Yeah, we're coming to the finish line here. So
sweet. Good.
Desk in action maybe by the end of the week.
Ooh la la.
Maybe. No promises.
Toronto's next top trader. Yeah, that's a good one, Mimi. I like that one there.
Who?
Actually, that's a good one.
No. You were saying that we're running these guys in front all the time. Anyways, okay. It's 2:09 right now, and if you want to be part of Toronto's next top trader, you know, send in marketing at tradertv.live, and you can send in your application. We probably have some people watching here that are from GTA.
There was a good years ago. They had like a trading competition show. I think it was in England. Years and years. Maybe it was England. You could find it on YouTube. I want to try to remember what the name of it was, but they actually had like they sat there, they day traded, and then they had to, like the risk guy, they would pick the winner. Like it wasn't simply like, who made the most. Like you get like progress reports and
through your trades.
Yeah, like risk management and all this stuff. It was a fun watch. I just got to try to remember the name of it. The guy who was the risk manager for them was some ex-Goldman guy. This was years ago. It was maybe like 15, 20 years ago.
I think I know the show you're talking about.
Yeah, they just.
It was very.
Why can't I remember the name?
I almost feel like it almost was like seemed fake a little bit. I forgot.
No.
I forgot what it was. No, it's not like a produced show like Billion.
No, it was.
It's like a YouTube.
But
show.
they're all produced.
It's a YouTube show.
Kind of like I watched the Squid Game the last episode.
Yeah.
The challenge was last night.
Oh, yeah,
You know when exactly who you think based on the way they edit the episodes is gonna win.
That's who won.
And that's who wins.
Yeah, that's just a game.
It's like
Alice in Borderland. Did you watch? So that's the one where there's a whole bunch of seasons, because that's the one I'm watching. Alice in Borderland. I thought there was a movie Alice in Borderland, but
no, it's
bunch of yeah. So we're in season 2.
I haven't watched the newest
episode 8 or 9 or something like that. I don't know how many seasons. It's getting okay. I feel like it was better almost at the beginning. I don't know. I liked all those events. Now it's just getting Queen of Hearts, King of Spades.
That's the problem with a cool concept.
I don't know.
You get a really cool concept.
They dragged it on too long.
And then you're like, oh, people like this. We have to drag it on.
Yeah.
But it's a simplistic concept.
Went a little
like
bit
Prison Break. One of the single best seasons of television ever. But why did you need to do anything after that? They broke out. Call Prison Break. Just end it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
And with that, let's go to the rundown. Oh, that's Happy Days. You're right. Anton Creel. That was the guy.
Yes.
Anton Creel. That's the Goldman guy.
What show is that?
I'm just gonna look it up.
You did nail that. That is right.
Great call, Anton Creel.
Yeah, you look it up, and then we'll be able to figure out the name of the show.
It was.
Anyways.
Why does that make it not easy?
All right.
$1 Million Traders. 2009. Oh my God.
You're right. You said about 15 years. That's about right. Close enough.
2009.
Yeah. Okay. What's it called again?
$1 Million Traders.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out probably on YouTube. All right, Sharif's been waiting, man. Sharif's almost in vacation mode. So let's get over to Sharif, and then that way when he's done, he can enter vacation mode.
Or we could linger for a second, because you know what we should do? If anybody announces they're going on vacation, which we always usually do around here.
I did notice it wasn't in the calendar, Sharif.
You should almost have to just wear we should get a hat or something, or a sack. Just to let everybody know that you're already in vacation mode. Something ridiculous. Maybe sip a pina colada. I don't even know what you're going to be doing with your drink of choices out there, brother.
Coladas, I hope.
Not pina coladas?
I don't mind pina coladas, but I don't mind
a little
sweet.
No, they are way too sweet.
Maybe you can have one of those things. It was like a daiquiri. You can only have. That's why you just say cuatro cerveza, por favor.
Rum punch, baby. I just try to keep it simple.
Rum punch. We just talked about sweet drinks, man. Rum punch is like the sweetest.
Rum punch. Yeah, but, no, you have to make your own rum punch.
Well, you won't be doing that at a bar,
Well, that's why wherever you go, it's I always want to find. You just go. But you go.
Resort.
You go to a resort and say, hey, look, I know what you do make, but I know somebody here makes their own rum punch. I go, just make me that. I trust you. That's how I roll. Especially if you're down in the if you're in the Caribbean, West Indies, trust me, they can do it. Let's go over to Sharif. We've kind of stalled long enough. Just wanted to make him sit there a little bit longer.
Boom. Welcome to the Afternoon Rundown, everyone, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The big boys are locked and loaded, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get those tickers right there is to get into the chat and vote every day. But you got to throw in that $ before the ticker of your choice. Let's look, guys, at all 4 major averages, 2 in positive territory, 2 in negative territory, but on the verge of going green. Let's start with the NQ, up the most, up 0.25%. But we're still trading well below 25,000, but above 24,500. The ES also up 0.17, trading at 66.51. The Dow looking to go green here, possibly only down 0.7 after it made all-time highs last week, trading now into 46,000, giving back a lot, guys, after that 48,500 touch we saw last week. Likewise with the Russ, it's also on the verge of going green on the day, trading at 23.54, down 0.3. 3. Let's start with Google, though, the first name as decided by you, and this is a rocket ship today, breaking through $300 at the highs, getting a lot of praise here for the release of Gemini 3. Bank of America analyst also Justin Post, who had a buy rating and a $335 price target on Alphabet, says the highly anticipated release of the new model did not disappoint. They, meaning Bank of America, think Gemini 3 is another positive step for Google to close any perceived LLM performance gap to its AI competitors. Glowing endorsement there from Bank of America.
Glowing. And a glowing breakout on Alphabet that has done nothing since. Just pull back. The good news is you pull back into prior highs for Alphabet. Look, it's done like it's a great stock. Don't get me wrong. It's just, you know, the market did the return, did the pullback, and the good news here. I'll show you the good news. Pullback on the NASDAQ underneath the pre-market highs and kind of consolidating under. Well, last I checked, if you're consolidating over prior resistance, that's still kind of good. For now, it's holding up. If 292 holds, this could be like an afternoon breaker, maybe. In my mind, I'm thinking you might not get anything too crazy to the upside in front of Nvidia earnings, but it's got a bit of a wedge. Like if volume can pick up, maybe you can kind of bump into VWAP there. This would be a better setup, I think, if it was above the volume weighted average price. But good look for Alphabet. It still remains, you know, right now the best kind of moving, performing Mag 7 name. I don't think that changes. I don't think that changes come tomorrow, but yeah, we'll certainly see. There's them and there's Apple, and then we'll see how Nvidia does tomorrow if it wants to join that group, which is, you know, more adjacent to some of their local highs.
Yeah, look, you know, you got to be happy with Google performance. I mean, it takes out the all-time highs today, and it's been really on a mission here for the last like 8 months. Like it's just straight up. I mean, you have to like what we've seen here from Google. Obviously, this candle didn't exist, but now it's basing. So it's like you based here and went the other way. Then we just started to go, and then we kind of tried to base around 240, 250, and then we blasted through that. So I actually really like what's developing here on Google because now you're getting a base and ready to go again. So that's, you know, if you're a bull in this market, you definitely want to be strong and long here with Nvidia, with Google. Still got Nvidia on my mind, and it's coming next, Nvidia, by the way. Wow, that's getting a little bit louder, which is completely fine. But yeah, I want to base out here with Google, and I think it's looking pretty healthy for an upside play here again. So we broke through 300. Now we have that wick that we can play off 304. Pretty aggressive, obviously, heading into the morning where it just really took off like immediately, and that's where we were celebrating. And there's some traders in our chat here that we think did quite well on that kind of a move. So just great move. And, you know, it's too bad because yesterday when this Gemini story was part of the story, I had written down Google as the #1 trade idea. And I was like, let's just potentially even go long right off the open. We didn't. We waited. And then we wrote down like 285 because it was the pre-market low. And it just kept on going, nope. And we got absolutely smoked on the, well, not absolutely, but we got smoked on the way down. We were able to catch it back end. But like, look at that move. It's like, you know, just kind of going oppo there, and it's just great to see a big, strong name like Google leading the market here. Obviously, it's come back in. I don't expect a huge move here this afternoon. But what about a break of this 200 period, 295? That could get the stock going again. We'll have to watch Google here as we enter power hour and whatnot. I'm not sure what the futures are going to do, though, as we sort of sit on our hands and wait for NVIDIA. All right, back over to Sharif, and let's talk about that next story here, NVDA.
Big boys.
Yeah, this is the big one, Sean. The last Mag 7 name to report, as is normal, guys. We're looking here for, well, the analysts are looking for $1.25 EPS on $54.92 billion in revenue. Both numbers would be more than 50% year-over-year increases. When it comes to data center, though, Sean, we're looking for $49.1 billion, which is a euphemism, of course, for their AI. 60% growth. Gaming, much smaller, $4.6 billion, and that would be a 40% year-over-year increase, guys. So NVIDIA trading at 185, up 2%.
This is saying, like, imagine year-over-year 54% revenue growth. That's actually slowing revenue.
Yeah, people are like, I don't know, I'm worried about this company.
Oh, man, it must be nice to be. Look, Jensen's going to be all right. But a lot of people have rang the register here. You know, they talked about Peter Thiel, SoftBank, which given how heavy they are in OpenAI, I suppose from a risk standpoint, like take something off. But that's, to me, that's ringing the register on what's been an unbelievable story. And this is probably the one quarter where I think it's got the least certainty in terms of what is going to happen. Like just as many people think it's going to flush as fall. I think the options market was pretty even, puts and calls. So, I think I'm still feeling like a little bit more of a sideways action in here. But if we start thinking about this afternoon, like what could happen? Sometimes we get rallies going into earnings, for sure. If that's going to be the case, you do have a bit of a level. It's more like we're barcoding at VWAP. But if you take 186, there's probably a little bit of a scalp trade idea in here. But I'll tell you this much. If there's a run higher in Nvidia this afternoon, I'm just squarely looking in two places, maybe three. AMD, like if that pops into the highs, AMD, which I still think might end up being a risk off, so I'd want to short that one back into 228, or SMCI. Like just look at the dogs, right? Like these are the dogs, or SMCI back into 34. So even if Nvidia gets an afternoon pop, I think I'd be looking to fade that on one of the other weaker chip names, where people are taking risk off in lots of places going into this report.
Yeah, so let's just do that right now, and let's put a poll up. I mean, I think that this is an important thing for viewers. Like just Nvidia, how about just green or red for tomorrow? Unless we could think of something more creative, green or red at open, or we could go plus, or we could go like plus or minus 7%. I don't know, because that is the expected move on Nvidia there tomorrow. But yeah, no, look, I would be more on the, like, I would vote green if that poll, if that's something that we decide to do.
Which one do we want here? Because
I would just say green or red, don't you think? Or at open tomorrow? Or we could do it.
I'm indifferent to either because I like the absolute move. It doesn't matter. We can just keep green or red's fine.
Yeah, we could figure it out. But yeah, so that would be something that interesting to look forward to, green or red. And I just think, if you're going to look, it's more like the secondary plays, like the AMDs of the world. And I think I heard Sharif mention that, if the margins come in for Nvidia, it just means that AMD potentially can compete a little bit more, because of pricing. And we're just looking to see if they still have the pricing power, Nvidia. We do know that they have the more powerful chips, that's for sure. So that's not for sure. That's just what we're here. That's what the specs are saying. So AMD continues to get clobbered here. And I'm nervous, more nervous for this name than I actually am for Nvidia here. I just don't know how AMD is going to react to a good or a bad quarter. I think there's a floor underneath Nvidia. It's tried to come into 180 a bunch of times, and every time it's basically been bought up, including even the last couple of days. So, I'm going to say prove us wrong, Nvidia, and that this is, the bubble that maybe everybody thinks about, and you start to guide lower. And if they guide lower, then that 150 could potentially come into play like tomorrow. Like honestly, if it's a guide that's unbelievable, like to the low side, then you're down here. So I'm very, very nervous for that to happen. But I think Jensen is way too smart of a CEO to let his shareholders down like that without sort of any kind of warning that things were sort of starting to turn. So I haven't heard anything, so I'm going to keep my faith in Jensen and just say that, what? If there was anything wrong, we probably would have heard about it by now.
Yep. So
I'm gonna sit on my shares and hope that they grow in value as of 4:20 today. And that's about it. But AMD was with nervous hands. And, Broadcom, all those. There's lots of great names, right?
Oracle, nervous hands.
And I hope they can lift this whole space. I'm worried about the CoreWeaves, the Metas of the world, things like that have clearly overspent on data center and not getting.
Don't even worry about CoreWeave.
Yeah,
that's a different.
I'm not in it. I'm not in that name, and I'm not worried about these names. But it's just that's the aspect, yeah. Right? Like, imagine if Nvidia does what Meta did. This whole market would be cracked like very, very soon. We can't lose 20. What is Meta down? 25%? Maybe not even. Meta's the next story, anyways. Yeah. All right, here you go. What do you got here?
Dave's super duper. Before we get to Meta, super duper pooper scooper trade. David, you have no idea, but there's a former trader on the floor that, based on that, you probably get along with. Trade of the day. I'm sorry, chat. Short Nvidia puts 180 strike.
Okay, but the thing is how much are those? That's the thing. Like I don't think 180 could be fine. But the thing is, if you don't move that 7% and you go inside, like that
is inside.
That might be. That's what I'm saying. That might be too. How much do those cost, David? Basically, you don't have to super chat us. We can look them up, but I just wonder if you knew what that was. Okay, let's go back over. We'll discuss Meta, and then we'll figure out how much those 180 puts, probably expiring Friday, I guess you mean. We'll see how much those are worth. But all right, Sharif, what else you got for us?
Guys, 25% off all-time highs as it continues to bleed down today. Cantor Fitzgerald adding to that bloodshed, dropping the price target for Meta from 830 down to 720, maintaining their overweight rating. But Deepak Manathanathan maintaining Meta platforms, but he's lowering the price target, worried about CapEx. Separately, there was this positive headline from yesterday, Meta defeating the FTC antitrust case. The judge in that case saying, look, if they held a monopoly on social media, it was in the past. It no longer is the case, dismissing the lawsuit outright. Doesn't matter, though, for Meta, down another 2%.
There, then you go grab a drink.
Pretty much.
We were talking about baseball and former traders and everything.
No, the former traders that used to say pooper,
Pooper,
super duper, pooper,
Schnickley.
But she would never, no matter how bad the trade was, she'd never curse. She wouldn't swear. So, you know, I respect that. It is what it is. Meta, these are the guys, and we've seen this before. These are the guys that are in the old penalty box. Like before you had Apple in the penalty box because they weren't doing AI spend. These are the guys that they're getting the crunch that you're not going to get the return on their spend. So right now, there hasn't been any of, everyone keeps asking, well, when is it going to bounce? When is it going to bounce? I mean, technically, technically you're at like the first key levels after 620, and really you got to think about like the 500 lows. Like the appealing thing for Meta right now, because it's under the 200 period moving average, is the fact that you're starting to get into that, oh, it's better valuation than the other names. And when that happens, to me, you buy it. And it's that simple. But you got to wait for the next level down, maybe even the next quarter. In the market, yeah, I was about to say, why is the market coming down?
Yeah, I don't like that right now.
What's moving? Is it Nvidia?
Yeah,
Nvidia is moving a little bit. Yeah, Nvidia.
Like we were just like, oh, the market might not do anything with Nvidia.
And now it does.
Now it gives it up.
But the only thing I would add to that is when you put it in a higher time frame, because once you fall in, to me, once you fall in this far, you want to start looking at the higher time frame instead of the daily chart. And the reason I was saying look at those like mid to low 500s, this is on the monthly. You can kind of spot this 520. See this little high in here? Like you had that chop and then you had the wick bottom. So that was like an area of supply at $520. So like to me, either it's wait, usually when you're for me, DCAing usually is like once every quarter in a stock like 22. This, or the next available key level. Right? So it's either 520 or next Q. That's where I'm looking on Meta, because I think you have to be patient with this one. On a monthly chart, why is it impossible that this on structure could be at like $400? But you know what? That's the kind of place you start just loading the boat. And I like buying good things when the valuation makes sense, but you have to be patient with it. Because if you load in on the first dip, then you find yourself, okay, well, if I'm going to put in, I would say 10 grand, because that's what people say online. If you're going to put in 10, then put in 20%. And the next quarter, I put in 20%. And the next quarter, I put in 20%. And then once I'm all in, I'm all in. And you know that's sort of the way I'm looking at Meta. But right now, a little bit of penalty box for them.
Yeah, I mean, here it is right here. It's 23% down from basically from their earnings down to where we are right now. So that's why, yeah, exactly. It feels like that right now. Basically, just no love, man. There's been like 3 green days since the 1st of November here. So it hasn't been a good month for Meta, but we've seen it before, and it was April. It's called April. That's when we last saw it. So if you go this move all the way to the downside too, that's 33%. So they lost a third of their value in 2 months. So we're only 2 weeks into this right now. So this could get a lot worse, and I hope it doesn't get worse before it gets better. I mean, obviously I'm a Meta shareholder, but yeah, that is a little bit of a concerning spot there for anybody holding on to Meta, and I worry about it too. But I keep on saying, and that was one of the things that I was going with before, is that every time someone's born, Meta gains a new customer. So I do know that it's there. It's just Zuckerberg has to prove everybody wrong. And I think the next quarter, if you can see that some of this spend has turned out to, again, better margins, more daily active users, some kind of profitability, then yeah, Meta will sing one more time. But for right now, I think it's a little bit of a problem, as many of us can see. Meta continues to struggle, but yeah, that's that for now. Yeah, market coming down. NASDAQ back to zeros right now on the day, so womp womp over there. All right, what's up, Sharif, with, AMD and Amazon?
Blame both these two.
A couple of positive headlines today on AMD, neither of which made a difference, guys, because we're trading at the day low right now. So the initial one here, Saudi Arabia connected. AMD and Cisco are going to partner up with a company called Humane to form a joint venture, basically to build out Saudi Arabia's sovereign AI infrastructure. Big money set to be made there separately. There was this announcement today from the Trump administration that they are likely to delay the implementation of Trump's promised tariffs, semiconductor tariffs announced in August. It was supposed to be 100% tariffs on chips imports, exempting certain U.S. manufacturers. Of course, those may be postponed to avoid provoking China and risking a trade war, but there has been no final decision made, reflecting, of course, the ongoing efforts between the current administration and China to strike a trade deal.
I know, it's so stupid. I didn't even look at it. We're talking about our football pool is just so stupid. All right, so yeah, I'm ready.
Before we get there, everybody, just want to remind you that each year there are 3.8 million concussions reported in the U.S., yet still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE listed Orgenex, OGEN, is changing that with its first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Orgenex is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting today. You can scan the QR code you see out in front of you for that OGEN on the NYSE.
Yeah.
And look, pun intended, AMD's probably giving you headaches today. Positive story or not, unfortunately for AMD, we've broken. It's broken, and it doesn't look like there's much that's going to stop it. So it was in this like nice, really upward channel, which was great. Like there's your breakout, there's your upper channel. We broke yesterday, continuation today. All roads seem to be leading to this 210 and the 50 period. And normally I'd say, hey, that's a great technical level, but how much is the technical level gonna matter tonight for Nvidia earnings? I'd throw it out for at least a little bit, like at least until we get a reaction and see what Nvidia does. I wouldn't even worry about that. I wouldn't even be thinking about that technical bounce at the 50-period moving average, because there's going to be more powerful forces than a line on a chart, right? Like when you're regular trading and not based on news and Nvidia stuff, then that would be a different story. So I don't know that there's much of a chance that you could pull back into some prior highs here, or sorry, from prior lows on AMD, but VWAP or 224, like one of those this afternoon, I think there's a limit to how much this could get bought up going into Nvidia earnings. It's been a great run for them, and certainly anything that gets discussed which would affect demand and addressable market, well, they've been riding those coattails on the idea that they're going to grab some market share. But if that addressable market is seen to be shrinking or slowing, AMD's been on a heck of a run, and it could get punished. And don't be surprised if it's punished even a little bit more.
Oh, my God. Oh. All right, fast forward or rewind to 8:30, 9 o'clock, when I was like, I really want to go short AMD in this area. I mean, that's $15. It's more of an oh my God. It's more of a fail. I was too busy grabbing those Tesla longs. I just was like, let me look at AMD right now, basically for the first time. I mean, I've been watching it this day because it's down 5%. But wow, I mean, all this is doing is like boosting the confidence of, our chart reading. So, and just the support and resistance continues to be all that I use. So, wow, that was a great opportunity there. But again, like we were long Tesla and just really hitting that to the long side. And I don't know if I would have shorted some. I don't know if I would have shorted a whole bunch, but that break of the 50-period moving average, whoosh. I mean, we had this whole play yesterday, and it was off of the 50-period moving average right there. So that, oh well. We did talk about it, but what are you going to do on that one? Look, everybody is now forewarned that it's NVIDIA earnings today, and AMD's not liking it. and Broadcom, I'm guessing as well. Probably, I mean, the three names I'm really concerned about is like Broadcom. Broadcom's up, so there you go. Broadcom, Nvidia, and AMD. I mean, I think that those are the three big ones here. Intel is on an island by itself.
Oracle, I'd be a little bit concerned about.
Well, Oracle's already. I mean, the thing is, I mean, I'm not concerned about Oracle anymore. I mean, it's already down $150. Like, this is already. It's kind of like Meta. Like, I don't know where it's going to stop, and. Yeah,
I would like.
They just spent a lot of money. Like, I think you need to look for Oracle for their next report.
I would like to hope that that's.
It's at the 200 actually.
Like it's like, but that's my whole thing. Like I'd be surprised if it breaks, but if that breaks, I think it catches a lot of people off guard.
I wonder what Oracle's. Yeah, well, I think this move down is.
What's the PE?
I might put my money back in. I got out at 317 there. The PE on this probably better. It's only 32 as the forward, but the current is 51. So we'll have to wait for next earnings to get that adjusted. A little bit and see where they go. So maybe it's a wait and see there on Oracle as well. Another name in trouble. All right, Amazon is in trouble here, Sharif. Give us the story, and then Sharif, please leave immediately and get into vacation mode.
Gladly oblige there, Sean. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Amazon is down 15% just from the start of the month, guys, despite a good headline today with the Saudi firm Humane to deploy, I'm already on vacation mode, to deploy a lot of AI accelerators to the tune of 150,000. Most of those are going to be the in-house built Trainium chips, but some of them are going to be the very advanced GB300 made by Nvidia. Doesn't matter though, Amazon down 0.2%.
I'm jealous, Sharif. I'm looking up the resort this guy's going to. Oh, the weather must be nice. See, the best thing about it, you go on vacation now, if NVIDIA tanks, you don't have to worry about it. You're just in vacation mode. You don't have to sit there staring at it every single day, because that can be the thing. Like when you're looking at, sometimes when you're looking at your long-term plays, if you're in swings and that, like you want to be paying attention to what's happening. But if you're thinking like really long-term or you're just really structured, you don't want to be worrying about what's happening on a day-to-day basis. You don't want to be worried about the fact that Amazon just round-tripped 20% in, what is that, October 20? Exactly 1 month. Actually, exactly 1 month. Half a month going up 20% and half a month coming right back in. Now, do we have some concerns about the consumer? Well, I would suppose that some of the earnings told you yes. So far this week, we'll see how the rest of the week unfolds. But Amazon is catching a few strays off of that. Unfortunately, there's like a few buckets that you look at these Mag 7 in, and right now Apple and Google kind of are in one, and then Microsoft. I don't know what you do with Microsoft anymore. It's probably in a world of its own. And then you got Meta, and then Amazon again is kind of on its own thing. So treat it on its own volition. This actually reminds me of the SMCI chart, where pretty much every single day, with one exception, Amazon's actually been an easy. It's weird. I didn't realize it was that. Short the open, lose, short the open, short the open, short the open. So you've only lost 1 day just blindly shorting the open on Amazon, which is not normal. Usually you will see on these types of names, the companies that do buybacks, the Mag 7, they will have better dip buys. So until this structure changes, either you wait for 210, which was the earnings low, or maybe the 200 period if you're feeling frisky. I feel like NVIDIA could take us down there, and maybe you look for a bounce. So you're getting close to that level. You could be there tomorrow. This could be a good bounce play maybe tomorrow or at the end of the week. I'll for sure going to have eyes on this. It's already worked twice.
Yeah, I mean, I like Amazon. I think you want to buy good companies, and that's going to the downside. You know what's not a bad company is Pins. Pinterest's been getting hit as well. This has actually a really good PE, Pinterest, and getting killed, and more money coming into this name would help it. But we just talked about, I think Reddit, the way they scrape Reddit for information, I was wondering if they could sort of do the same thing for Pinterest of these large language models. But anyways, there goes Pinterest. Nice move to the downside. Obviously, feeling some kind of ways there, but into a nice level. For some reason, I don't know why I thought of that when I thought about Amazon, but I mean, Neil just covered Amazon. I was just thinking, like, this is another name that is near those April lows where it's been really hit over the last, obviously, month or so. So Pinterest down into here. And Pinterest's, this is the Benzinga Pro platform here. We want to thank them for that. But here it is right here. It's pretty cheap, man. 12 and 9 as far as their PEs are concerned. So 12 and 9 right now for Pinterest. And they're saying their peers are Google, Meta, Baidu. I don't know about that, but right into here, 12 and 9. So if you think Pinterest can turn the corner here, and like I said, I think they can make a deal with a large language model, if they probably haven't already, and they probably have already, to scrape data. And we do know how much that helped Reddit, and when we found out like how often they were being pinged and all that kind of stuff, right? And so, yeah, something to look at there for Reddit, Pinterest, and all that. I really like Reddit, that's for sure. So if Reddit can fall back in somewhere into here, like 140, I always kind of zoom out and look for opportunities like that. A name that's been really holding up well, and it's not Palantir, but it's Snowflake, which is not similar to Palantir, but again, like a data name here that has its role. They've been holding out pretty good, and they're just right here at the 50-period moving average. So that's another name, 280 down to 250. That some of you traders may have some interest in Snowflake. So just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. And then just back over to Palantir, as we're zeros on the day, and Palantir's red on the day. So down 2.5% there. We were long early on Palantir, and good thing we got out when it broke right there, because Palantir sang a song the rest of the day all the way to the downside there. Okay, market kind of settling in now, you know, on Nvidia earnings day. So we'll look at some more things here. DraftKings is an interesting one. Someone said this morning that DraftKings is getting out of the gambling business. I do not believe.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no. Because they're trying to get into the prediction market, they had to like sign some sort of them and FanDuel, Flutter, I guess, some sort of an agreement. I can't remember what it was in order to do the prediction markets. There's not there yet.
But there is the thing where the places, like you do the prediction markets in certain states.
Right, that's what it was.
And then
I'm sure it was a statewide.
Yeah, I think it's a state-by-state thing, which makes perfect sense. Like if they can't do their business in a certain state, then you go the other model, so that allows you to sort of be operating everywhere. I'm still, you know, whatever.
This is the story,
I'm
but
not a lawyer. It's
pull out of Casino Industry Trade Group. I don't know what the hell.
I don't even know
is.
what that means.
Like, I don't know what that means. That to me, that doesn't mean that they are out of anything else. There's talk here about Kalshi and the prediction markets and everything like that. Look, we know that there's always going to be competition. Whenever you're in a hot business, competition is going to come for you. Now, the thing is that what we're always looking for are names that can do it all, right? The Robinhood can't do it all, but you know, apps like that. We talk about SoFi. Robinhood is another example. So Kalshi and all that are prediction markets. So is Polymarket, Railbird. They actually bought Railbird. DraftKings did. So another one of those markets. You can get into the prediction markets, but they already hold the licenses and all that for 39 states or something for sports gambling. So they have that edge already. So if they can settle down and figure out how to offer sports gambling as well as prediction markets, then they can work. And here's Flutter. So FanDuel again. I don't know which one is you know, first to market here, but FanDuel looking a little worse right now. 305 high down to 195 right here. So this is Flutter, and we just had their earnings as well as DraftKings, and both headed to the south side on earnings. So I don't think people are too pleased with either one.
Second time I've done
right now. But yeah, that's Flutter and that's DraftKings. So a little look on some of those names that we may not trade them, but definitely looking at those.
And should be on the radar.
This Tesla's bouncing around $4. This is a level that I was looking at earlier. I don't know, man. I want to make sure that we're right with the market. It's easy to take this trade because the market's just settling down and you do have upside potential there. This is $11 there on Tesla, but you know, we tried it again right there at 403 and lost, and we haven't really tried it since. So maybe we'll look at Tesla at some point. But
I just refreshed our visualizer, so you will now see that when you type in a name, Mark George just said they're buying NVIDIA here. So instead of typing it the way you did, Mark, just go $NVDA. There's NVIDIA. Ooh, the VIX, Robinhood, ONDS, AMD, Oscar, MSTR. So all of these names starting to come in here. And that way we know what's moving. I understand NVIDIA is probably going to, on a day like today, it's probably going to lead it. But there's also this small capper, which is going nuts. SGBX, can't say that I'm familiar with it. I'm 99% sure Sharif was probably trading it because look at the upward trend, and it was above the volume weighted average price. He was. So this is certainly one worth watching. Haven't really had too many of these trending up and breaking out in the afternoon lately. I can't remember the last time we did that. And there was also this crazy, WSK, whatever. It was one of, it was like one of those HKD type movers. WSHP, that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this one, We Shop, which, to say that this is a no-fly zone, this stock is up 480%, has traded 214,000 shares. So I'm gonna blink, and then while I blinked, Nvidia probably traded almost as many shares as that. Maybe not exactly in scientific, but you get the idea. It's just from halt to halt. Even when it's open, the spread right now in this stock is $10, and I haven't even seen a print since I called it up. So that's the level of liquidity here. You're just kind of going from like halt to halt. So just be real careful with that. It's insane amount of, insane lack of volume is what I was looking for. Oh, there's an IPO tomorrow as well.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's like $500 million. It's not huge, big enough that it's probably worth keeping an eye on. So it's been a while since we've looked at an IPO that was even approaching a few hundred mil, but there is one tomorrow. I double check the name. More pertinent tomorrow, obviously, than today.
Yeah. We'll definitely have a look there tomorrow. I mean, we want to ring the register and say, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Right now for IBIT. So I'm just going to put a bid right here at 30s, see if we can grab it. I mean, we rolled this thing the whole way down. We talked about that break of IBIT right there. The break happened. So yeah, man, there it is. So we're jamming now as we get that 30 fill. The reason why I always bid is because we get the rebates on the bidding and the offering. But there it is, man. Nice move down, 51.50. We have a key for this. You might have heard about it before, but it's IBIT down 4.5% as Bitcoin just continues to. I did want to look at see if Zcash did anything today. Zcash.
Probably
so here it is right here. Let me have a quick little look here at Zcash. No, it's not really doing anything today. This is a name that look at this. Let's go to like a 4-hour chart just to get exactly what's going on here. Like this was just like if you just go back to even November 1st, right into here, it was $360. You know, get up to 350. Like it basically went in 2 weeks. It doubled there, and still trying to hold out right now. Zcash. So I don't know exactly what this stock is all about or what this coin is all about. But this is what Zcash looks like since October. $71, up 10 times in a month? Okay. So Bitcoin going one way, Zcash going the other, and here goes Bitcoin right now. I mean, unfortunately, it's going even lower as we speak. So there goes Bitcoin right now on the daily, looking pretty sad, man. And I know there's a lot of traders around here that we talk about. There was Ramin even did Joe dirty on the thing over there by he was crying looking at his phone. And the problem was he was crying. That thing was made back here right now. So boom to the downside as crypto. And if you believe in it, you're in it for the long term anyways. So I would say smart money sold up here and the rest of us are waiting on this. So, pull back in. I guess if you want to start to make some kind of a call between the March and April lows, where we had the tariff tantrum and everything like that, these areas here for Bitcoin, probably something to look at.
Yeah, someone said in the chat, like, ask us literally where we'd be buying it again. I just come back to the same thing. Did we find support here yet? Nope. And if that's a no, then you're waiting for the next level down. And the other point too is, and thank you to, I think it was a couple of people that were like, you should draw a trend line if you like them on Bitcoin for this move, because you're also simultaneously, be great if it did it right at the intersection, doesn't really matter, but you're not only losing that support, but you're breaking this upward trend, which goes all the way from October of 2023. So that's the trend line. It's been tested a few times, but if you really do hold underneath 91 for any period of time, you got to think we're headed to this. It's more like 73 or 74. That's not an exact science where you drop it. It's just that prior high that dipped before. So I kind of feel like that's where we were headed. And look at it this way. Like I always kind of put it in these terms. Like if you look at that trend line, or if you look at the normal pullbacks, like this pullback 74 to 50, right? So it gives up a third. And then now we're in the midst of a 120, 124 to here. Like it's given up a quarter. If you're not if you don't know that that's how it moves, and maybe at some point it stops doing that. Maybe. But until it does, that's Bitcoin. You know, and you can want it to behave differently. I would love for it to behave differently, but now until it is, you got to wait for the bigger levels to come in. I know we're going to go jump over to Adara. Though I was just going to quickly also mention BM&R. Where'd my crosshairs go? Oh, there it is. That was weird. BM&R is breaking down as well. Like today will be the close underneath this support from August on BM&R. So that's another name. Like I wasn't really on it today because it was kind of testing that level, but you're closing underneath it. So tomorrow, if it holds underneath, it's like 30-ish, 29 high or something like that, then this is actually, I know it's down a lot, but heck, if it can't regain that level when it's SSR tomorrow, this is another breakdown too. Adara?
This part of the show is brought to you by our friends at Beta Pro by Global X Canada. And now for some exciting news out of Canada for the sophisticated traders on the stream, because Beta Pro by Global X Canada, which happens to be Canada's largest provider of leveraged inverse and inverse leveraged ETFs, they've just launched 6 new triple leveraged ETFs, offering 3x bull and 3x bear exposure to the S&P TSX 60, semiconductors, and even on U.S. Treasuries. But even better, they're offering a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points till December 31st, 2025. Plus, the U.S.-focused strategies use currency hedging, offering the potential for pure performance and exposure. So if you are a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca/3xdaily to learn more. I do really quickly have news as well. Just saw this popping up. Coinbase had a random spike a couple minutes ago. Looks like it could be related to this news I'm seeing, and I haven't seen this confirmed yet, but it looks like Coinbase is launching a prediction market powered by Kalshi. Back to you.
Got to do what you got to do. Yeah, you can't let Robinhood just have the party all by themselves. Like you've got to.
No, I immediately went to DraftKings there, but it's not moving on that. Is that doing it?
DraftKings should move down. Well,
I thought it was going to move down. I was going to punch the short on that story there, but I
kind of feel like it should move down. Yeah. But you barely moved. I mean, come on. Like actually, it's a pretty decent spike, but it goes right into resistance at 251.5. Look at that wall at 251.5. So if you're not getting through that on what I would think is at least good news for them, then it's just not good. If you can't break things out, like even the algos, because when the news hits, like they lose the book, right? So they make the markets less, and there's less, quotes aren't really as thick, and so you should be able to break some levels. But when you immediately have the same resistance as before, that doesn't really bode well. And this is another name, like you're almost at that support. Like this is the June support, where everything broke away into the 420 high on Coinbase. And we're like a stone's throw away from that. These crypto names are getting, what's the word I want? I mean, some of them are getting wrecked, but some of them are in hefty pullbacks. Coinbase was not even participating in a lot of the run. Like it was annoying. You'd see like Robinhood go, and you could see the difference. Like Robinhood strong, Coinbase looking terrible. I thought maybe there might be a punch here, but I'm not really. Yeah, no, it's not doing anything.
I just, new position, I just punched in. I don't know, maybe Nvidia goes here. It's just, it's a better trade down here. I just want to put something on just to have some fun here this afternoon. I mean, it's not,
It's
not like you have to make trades so you don't have to. I just want to see if there is something special potentially here into the close for NVDA. I mean, we just broke through VWAP. Obviously, this is a much better trade right there. We have to do these rundowns and we start talking about random things and talking about things, but right into here, this could be something. So why don't we just wait to see, like if it falls back in, we'll average it. I'm literally waiting at 185.30, which is where this VWAP is. So if we do fall back in, we could take that. But for right now, it's 10 cents, 15 cents in the money right there. Today we're 1, 2, 3, 4 for 4 if we were to cash out, if this one works, 3 for 3 so far. But I'm going to stop out if we get back through here, the 50-period moving average. Look, it's been so choppy, right? Nothing really matters right there. But I'm just going to use kind of this support right around here, 185. So if we break below 185, we'll give it just a little sneeze and see how far it goes below that. But other than that, we're going to wait and see if we can get going. So I'm going to put something. We've topped out at 80 here a couple times. So let's put something, maybe 75. We'll put, okay, well. All right, 30 cents in the money. Just like that. All right, man. There we go, man. We are going to go now. Looks like Neil 4 for 4 on the day. Of course, this position pending. But I'm going to get another piece right now. I didn't think it would happen this fast. Here we go. Let's just give it a little bit of a second here. I'm also offering 89s right now on this play, and hopefully we can get it, and that will leave us with half of the position left if we get those 89s. And then that will be that right now. So, yeah, just hearing in our ear that Webull was getting a little bit of a bump here. So I don't know if there's some news or anything about that, but doesn't. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, I'm not even.
So I'm not sure what's up with that. It just said something about Webull calls going upside right now. So that must
coin
be.
did break.
Yeah. So there goes Webull there, and then here we go, guys. There we go, man. That's 40 cents straight to the upside there on Nvidia. So.
Yeah, Coin did break that 250,
Nice.
150 after all, so it did get in there. I didn't hear the Webull thing because my squawk actually disconnected on its own, which it does from time to time, but it's back on now, so I don't know what the Webull story is.
No, nothing. Unless Sedera has something. They just said Webull's starting to move higher. That's
Okay.
You do have it? No. So I think it's just a price movement.
Yeah, exactly. Like it could just be
no
like
real
technical,
story, yeah.
but the one thing to be remotely concerned with, look at the volume bars. So second bar, half the first. If we end up with the next volume bar, this volume bar being even half that, then this might stall at the volume weighted average price. But there was a level at 251.50. It eventually did break there on Coinbase. I got to move my stop from prior bar to break even, and we'll see if this can travel through VWAP. I think it's a good story for Coinbase, but it's like there's a limit to how much good news matters on a bad stock. So like, yeah, they're getting in the prediction markets, but maybe they should have done this a long time ago.
Yeah, probably.
Like you want to be forward thinking about these things, right? The example I will use is, heck, let's just talk about, BlackBerry is the best example of this. You can eventually make an Android phone that appeals to everybody, but you should have done it 10 years before you did, when everyone else thought you should. So that's what I think about this for Coinbase, but a little bit of a pop. I mean, good. I wouldn't put it in the gray category if you're not going to get through the volume weighted average price here. You want more than this on some news. Like this is such a beaten up stock, in my opinion. You should be going a little bit more than that.
Responding to some people here on Twitter, man. Thank you so much. Like I put some posts out here, and thank you, Professor Sean. Okay, so I was just gonna search up school here and do like a little school there and like that, and then be you're welcome on that one right there. But yeah, a lot of nice talks, man. Dollar bills. Yeah, what's up to Market Junkie? What's up here, Texas Boy right now talking about this, and you guys are all just talking about some of the posts that we put up today, like the sticky note posts, and we had some great calls early. So just go join us all on X, and you can find all of us talking about trade ideas that we have for the day and whatnot. Look, Nvidia, we got more out, right? So we actually now only have about 30%. We got in one other piece at 95 when it ripped up there. Now we're starting to retrace back in a little bit. So we're still long at 60. I'm going to take out some more right here at 78. No, I'm not. I offered 78, and that's the problem. Remember I was saying, like, offer because, we get... I said I like to offer because we get rebates, but then right there I just offered 78, and now it's 20 cents lower, so that does not pay out. I could have just punched out there and been much better. But okay, so my reload is not here. We talked about where it is. It's at 30, so I'm still sitting there. I'm still going to sit at 30. I'm not worried too much about the exact VWAP. Obviously, I'll be mad if I miss it by a couple pennies, but we'll just try to watch it and see if we can get take an advantage of Nvidia here and a possible VWAP dump in right now. And again, we are now like an hour a bit away from this market giving us what we need, and that is those earnings call.
Palo Alto.
Palo Alto as well. Look, I like Palo Alto. I really like the cybersecurity space.
I just keep saying it because no one else is, and it's like Palo Alto is a pretty big name, and there's only two big earnings names today, and one of them is important, but Palo Alto is a great company. CrowdStrike's going to move on that. Zscaler's going to move on that. Fortinet's probably going to move on this as well. So, let's be real. You always, and again, I'm saying, like, whatever. I own Palo Alto, so that's a little bit self-serving as well, because I'm remotely concerned about them in particular relative to CrowdStrike. Like, I'm more Palo Alto than I do CrowdStrike. It's 60-40, which it wasn't, and then I made it that, and I'm not that happy about it. But I am at least a little bit concerned with it. And we'll look at the charts a little bit later on when it matters. This being a news trade, I'm not thinking this is, if this was like a trend break, I'd probably consider a reload, but this is based on news. And like I said, that volume candle, you're still decreasing. So if we continue that trend, I don't want it to go past break even. But Palantir looked interesting.
Palantir?
Oh, really? Okay, Palantir did this. Save. I don't want to ever have to redraw that. All you have to do is hit save on your layout, and then your trend line stays forever. But the Palantir did a trend break, which I tried to pick up. I actually just missed it. I thought I'd leave the bid in there and see if I got swept up back at the breakout price. You can obviously see that that did not happen. So I'll try to move in a little bit. The idea is just to, there's your trend break. Try to get the long somewhere in the 164 or 4.5 range as we enter power hour. At this point, it's already made the move. So if I get it here early, then I stop out prior bar, but I'm buying the dip, so I stop out on the actual bar, which ends up being almost 164, even as we enter power hour. And no matter how many times I hear it, it does not sound like Arnold. I just don't see it.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's supposed to be him. There's some people in the chat that mentioned that. Money, 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 money. Feels like we're hitting that a lot today, but for good reason. So there we go. My hat's off to you, Nvidia. There we go. We said we're buying VWAP, right? So nice move back there to the upside. Now a 30-cent winner the other way. There it goes again. Hit the sirens. I really enjoy this relaxed trading, man. Pick your levels, you nail them. You know, today, big day. We're just sort of adding to what we've been doing here. Today, it's going to be a really, really, really good day. And I know there's a lot of you out there that are having big days as well. So congratulations to that. And, you know, we are now, again, like just moments away. But here we go. Like, now we're 50 cents in on this. Like, it started with a great trade there in Tesla, and then we had, actually, I think Palantir might have been the first trade that I had on today here. Remember, it's a trading show, right? I mean, we love to talk about news, but there it was right away, right into here, 167, nice upside move into 169 right there, you know, falling back in. And I used to do this for all the traders here at Real Trading. It was, you know, mentoring, helping people open up offices, showing them different styles of trading and whatnot, yada, yada, like that. So, you know, I'm glad to be able to sort of show everybody live here as we go, you know, what trades are possible. You know, just being able to take a couple wins back and forth for everybody. It's good. And then scalping out and, you know, just we've gotten positive feedback from traders that watch the show. And, you know, they say like, you know, oh, I've adapted this style or that style, or I've edited mine a little bit because I see the way you guys are doing it. Like, that's the important thing. Find your own style and find what works for you. And then try to use what we're doing. And then again, you could always channel check us, right? Like, I always say, you know, up or down 4 for 4, but whatever, that doesn't really matter. It is the green or the red on the day that really matters, because the net that you have is sort of a product of share size anyways. So it's kind of like, for me to say, like, we always get super chats. Like the other day, someone was Day Trader LA, like, oh, I was down 25K on Google, and Neil and I was like, holy shit, like, that's a lot. But then it's
how much do you make?
Right, no, not that. It was he had this $400,000. Like, yeah. It was only a small percentage of the amount that he was interested in investing. So that's the whole thing where it's like, you know, despite trading on the prop floor, you know, we are trading, you know, other people's money here. So it's very easy to level up and everything like that. But it's also very easy to get smoked on trade. So that's why, you know, continue to watch us. And I think the proof is in the pudding, man. We show our worth every single day by these trades, right? So I hope you guys can learn something and take from all of us as individuals. We've all have different careers and different this and that. And I want to show this, but like, I'm very disappointed, obviously, in this editing, and I've already yelled at Ramin for this. Like, I don't even remember having a blemish here, but we have 25 plus years trading. This is dropping after market. So get ready for this. Premieres in 85 minutes at 4:30, right after the Nvidia earnings. You guys can go over, find out what all of our trading journeys have looked like. You hear ours all the time. Whoops, I don't want to show our chat on there. You know, we get it all the time, and all those questions, and we printed something out for you. And we also do have the Day Trader Academy. Bang! Coming through right now, right there. But, you know, I like to be someone said professor and all that. I like to teach all this stuff, but really at heart, I'm just a trader who happens to have fallen into this amazing opportunity to host the show and do this, right? Like I was doing this for 400 offices worldwide and thousands of traders. And now we're glad to bring this to you, glad to be doing it with Neil and Sharif and Joe. And the team has just grown so much and getting bigger and better. And then with the addition of Adara on the news has been fantastic. So, you know, just going
Speaking
on
of,
a little bit there, but really proud of everything that we've been able to build here. So
it looks like block is halted, news pending. So I've heard absolutely nothing, but the XYZ is halted. And if you're, well, I'll get to the trade in a quick little second, but because this just happened, if you're ever wondering the stock is halted, what's the deal? What the heck is T8? Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I just want to clarify. I just saw this as well. I haven't seen any news on this yet. My eyes are peeled.
Yeah, actually, what's interesting, but this is not.
It's an investor day.
I know, but they don't have the halt on the halt page of the actual issue. They have the leverage is halted, so they haven't even put up the code yet on that. Usually, I would tell you just go to NASDAQ Trader usually, and that would show up. Like my halt scanner has it, and you look at the reason code. But that doesn't really matter. Currently halted, there is no, I mean the tap when it's a news-based halt and not a volatility one is typically going to be flat. You don't know when it's going to open back up. And speaking of news, we all heard Coinbase going into the prediction markets. It was a simple flat top break. I don't have a key for it. Like, why is it that we have a key for a flat bottom break but not a flat top break? Like, which one do we like better, when things go up or when things go down? Anyways. But we go all the way to VWAP. So in the first candle, we just scalp and then look for VWAP. When the second rejects the volume weighted average price, just jump out, like quick little scalp trade. Goes about $1.50. Capture, it goes $1.50 on the first move. And ultimately, it ends up going like $2 and change. But you're averaging $1.50 on the trade. That's where my head is at, right? Like it's $1.50 of a win because you're getting that. Like your absolute return is, you know, just the best that you get in the last amount of shares. But let's go to Adair. Maybe we get an update on this XYZ.
Multi-year financial outlook.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. All right, Adara.
So I'm in the investor meeting here for XYZ. It's a Zoom meeting. I'm currently listening. Nothing said here really suggests like massive news halt. Like they're talking about significant growth in Cash App and Square. If I get anything, I'll let you know. But yeah, it's kind of standard fare for Investors Day as of right now. But I'll still be listening. Back to you.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's right here. I mean, I have the story right here. Adara's going to give this at some point here. But block for 2026 expects to deliver 17%. So they just dropped a bunch of numbers. So it's good. Finally, somebody actually follows suit and halts. I mean, you shouldn't be dropping these numbers and then all of a sudden, you know, not giving people a chance to review them. And then it's kind of like a little mini earnings situation here for them. So there it is. So 70% year-over-year growth is probably better than what was it before. 30%. So there's a whole bunch of stories here. Obviously, Adara is doing the best work, so we'll get her information on that as soon as that happens. But I was going to say, like, not that PayPal and Block are, you know, attached at the hip or anything here, but this is what PayPal is doing meanwhile. So people thinking that obviously this is a better guide right now than expected. So PayPal makes its way all the way VWAP right now. So nice move there for PayPal. We'll just wait. It's going to be a 5-minute, most likely a 5-minute block here on XYZ. What up there?
I have the news here at XYZ. Apparently, it's that they're expecting their adjusted EPS to grow in the low 30% range annually through 2028. So eventually, that's going to be $5.50 per share. Again, some Block Inc. guidance. The other piece of guidance they announced is for fiscal 2026. They're expecting adjusted earnings per share to grow to $3.20. So again, adjusted EPS growth. I'm seeing that here as the news that has led to this halt, or I guess halt pending news. This seems to be the news. I'll keep you guys posted if I hear anything else. I'm still listening. Back to you.
Okay, thanks, Adara. And I'm going to keep that one up just in case it reopens within that 5 or 10 minutes, or again, if it ends up being a little bit longer than that, just keep in mind, if it halts indefinitely, like once it's past like 15 or 20 minutes, you know, at that point, some people will say, well, look at every 5 minutes. Usually at that point, it can tend to be a little bit longer than that if you happen to be stuck. And I can't imagine anyone would have been trading that stock today. It wasn't really in play or anything like that. And you know what? It does remind me, we keep getting questions about PayPal. PayPal on sympathy. I mean, if you're looking at, and again, like I'm not saying like do it. It is what it is. But if you're looking at something which on sympathy might be moving on that news, PayPal did get a bit of a bump. But I mean, the whole market bumped. So, but this was more attributed to the moment that Block went over there in PayPal. Sometimes that sympathy play can be good. I'm kind of going against the notion of reloading on coin. It got to VWAP. The volume is continuing to dwindle. Like that's not what you want to see. Like look at the volume. It went from good news, breakout volume, to literally doing worse volume than it was before when we're in power hour. Looks like that's all we're going to get with Coinbase. That's a sign of a not very good stock, in my opinion. When positive news gets met like that, it's just like there's nothing doing. So even Palantir, like it broke trend. Ideally, you want to get this trade as it's breaking the trend and not the way back in. So I don't know if this is going to get to VWAP. Until it starts making higher lows again, I don't think this is worth adding to. But if it can, like if it were to do something, you know, making some higher lows, then you just sort of buy on the trend as it tries to work into VWAP and then start moving the stop up. It could do that. We're in power hour, still plenty of time for it to go. And or Alpha wants to know about SoFi. I haven't looked at SoFi today. Isn't that weird?
I just called it up myself. It is.
We usually, yeah, all the fintech names seem to be going at the same moment. That just makes it even worse for Coinbase that it's not following through that move. Like everything else is going, and all it does is pop to VWAP and then flop. That's why sometimes you got to scalp trade it. You know, listen to the market, not what you want to happen on a given name.
There goes,
some Coinbase
yeah,
too,
we're listening to the market here with Nvidia. I have another offer right here at O's. So I'm at 97 now for. It's a little bit meme style right now as it just keeps on taking out the offers and sort of, there we go again. Starts to sort of gaps higher here. 95, then goes 90. What it's doing, it's falling and basically moving right back up 3 or 4 cents and starting to go. So here we go, see? There, boom. Oh, let's see what winds up happening here with this name. So I'm at 20s now on the upside, 186.20 right now for Nvidia, hoping that that's the high right there. That's 20, that's 30s. So we'll sit at 20 now and see if we can grab that. Just simple trading, man. Right there as that's coming back in. Maybe Meta's having itself a little bit of a move. Remember, the futures are just getting back to VWAP right now, so this is kind of like, you know, part of the reason for Nvidia's sort of move higher here is the futures, and they're all trying to go against their report, right? So here we go. Here it comes again right now. Almost $1 in right now on this one. Man, Bitcoin is still, like, we got a little bit of a bump up. We're still in that one, too, as we wait. Did we just get it? No, we did not. We almost got that at 186.20. I think it just went to 186.13 or something and then fell back in again. All right, Andre, what do you got for us over here? Super chat, he says. Thoughts on Webull? Yeah, I mean, Webull's earnings tomorrow. So what is it? Trade at this price. BTC is oversold on a daily. BTC, if it's oversold now, wait till you see it tomorrow. All right, so Webull. Yeah, so this is the problem, right? Like we talked about this, and I just think that if you're looking at a Webull right now, thank you, John Adonis there, good name, John Adon. But this is what it looks like on the daily chart. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more so we can just see how dramatic that move is exactly. And yeah, is it oversold? Probably. I mean, I can call up RSIs on this too right now, and it's probably bleeding, probably sub 20, 25, something like that. But yeah, nice move to the downside here for Webull. And I'm not sure. I think we might as well just wait at this point. I think they've had like 2 or 3 reports since their birthday. Their birthday was April. Nice shoot up there. We've absolutely destroyed this IPO. And then all the way back in right now and has broken well below right here, right? Their support of $10. Like that was really, really held. We just broke it just 2 weeks ago, and we really haven't had a run back. You know, if we zoom in, you're going to see that there was a little bit of talk here around $10. Once we broke it, we did have a little bit of stop and go here around 9.50, and then whoops, again, a drop down in. So I like Webull. I'm in the name. I'm long it. And, you know, just waiting for it to pop because we had showed you charts of Robinhood and of SoFi. Like Robinhood was sub $7 for as long as I can remember. I think it was sub $7 for like 8 months or 6 months. I already did this a couple weeks ago on the show. So it was $7. It got as high as 160 or 155, you know, once it started to go. Webull, Robinhood, you know, they're not built the same. I would think that that's most likely for sure. But you got to like the space. I think there's a lot of people transitioning from traditional financials, you know, over to, you know, apps. They're giving a lot of promotions. I know Wealthsimple around here, which is similar to these Webull stuff. You know, they're giving a promotion now, transfer over 100 grand. So I was thinking about doing this.
They just want to grab your account?
Yeah, and then you get, they're going to send you a MacBook or an iPhone 17 if you do that. So I think that there's promotions like that everywhere. And yeah, they're going to get, maybe they're going to get my money. But at some point, yeah, I think it works. But I would rather wait for tomorrow's report, you know, before stepping into Webull. Because you don't want them to miss, like to really guide lower, and all of a sudden $8 becomes, you know, $5.50 like real quick, you know. But it's a nice bounce back right now. Is XYZ, is that open yet even? Thank you all for the super chat. You know, you guys can super. No, it's not open. You guys super chat us at any time. It could be, that was a small, like $5.
I think it's news based. To be honest with you,
yeah, it is news based. So when they
sometimes it's like maybe they don't even reopen it. We've seen that before. Because if they're presenting something and they halt during the presentation, you kind of maybe you get the sense that they're just going to wait till they're done to the market. What are those, by the way?
Gum.
Oh, it's just gum.
Yeah, aspartame free, pure. Here, have one.
Yeah, but I won't chew it now, but I'll take one after for sure.
Oh, here, I'll just put 2 on there for you. Here, how about 3? Take 3, Neil. Right on the Trader TV Live napkins.
There. So everyone can see the logo.
Actually, probably chewing gum and talking at the same time.
Well, that's the only reason I'm not going to have some.
Yeah, you're smarter than me. So.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'm always eating. I'll literally, someone puts like a treat in front of me and I just start eating in front of everybody. And then I realize that I'm supposed to talk as well. And that can be a little bit tricky. Yeah,
the dentist was like, you're going to chew gum, chew aspartame, or chew aspartame free. Like, this is supposed to be the real good stuff there. And it's.
You feel for a second?
It's even on the back, vegan and all that stuff, it says. I don't know. You guys heard of pure gum?
No, I've never heard of it.
You've never heard of that?
No.
It doesn't last that long. The flavor is not.
I'm not really one of those. No, I'm not one of those like
xylitol
forever kind of person.
Yeah, nut, peanut free. No, I'm probably just gonna spit this out in a minute. Soy free, sugar free. Anyways, what it is. I drink Diet Pepsi and stuff, so I'm not like
until you're like fully free.
Abstaining from aspartame.
Money.
All right, it's enough of that. More of this. I hope you guys took this at least a little bit. There we go, man. It's a nice move upside right now for Nvidia. Pretty easy trade for me, man. I mean, we just talked about, you know, trading it. It broke through VWAP. We really like it. I mean, not only that, I think we worked our way around this. I mean, Neil had a good trade there in Coinbase. But like I said what the plan of action was. We took small, and then when it came to VWAP, we loaded up. All right, now we're starting to get excited. 186.50. I'm just going to offer a piece out right now. There we go. We grab that, and there it goes, right? So this is the thing. Like, there's a lot of other channels out there, and blah blah blah. Maybe there's not that many other channels, but there's people you could follow. There's books you can read. Reading's overrated. Don't tell my kids that. But you know, at the end of the day, this is real life, right here. Like you saw me take that, and boom, right? All the trades that we do on the show are equity trades. We don't trade CDRs. We don't trade. Not CDRs. Is not the word I'm looking for. I did this last week. CFDs.
Jinx.
Hello. You know, or options or anything like that. These are the actual shares, right? And so, you know, you guys can play it with 0-day options and things like that if you wanted to. Or
be careful with CFDs, by the way, everybody. Like the thing about CFDs is the firms that do the CFD thing. Like if you trade with a prop firm and you're just trading actual equities, you're trading in the market. If you're trading the CFDs, you are not trading in the actual market, and sometimes you have the actual firm, and like they're taking the other side of your trade. So like for them, it's just they want your deposit, and then it's risk-free on the other end because you're long, you're shorting. So in fact, that most traders lose, they don't care. But we did get a super chat here, and it was T-Bone. No, it's not. Okay. Oh, sorry, there's 3. We'll get to T-Bones later. David, you just saying a year ago, November 20th, 2025, NVIDIA EPS surprised 8.5%, still tanked it $10 a few days later. Well, that's not a year ago, but I think you must have meant last year, I'm assuming. And I don't disagree. I don't think just because we go up tomorrow that you're out of the water. We've seen that with plenty of earnings, right? Like you gap up and then, I mean, Amazon gapped up and you need a big sell-off. Like, that'll happen. Microsoft did a similar thing. Rookie Cooker, do you guys think Bitcoin is headed to 75 or lower soon? Let me know your thoughts. I do think so. I just keep looking at the same chart, and technically that's what it seems like it's doing. Every single time I look at Bitcoin, it's like the 73 to 75 range on a daily chart. So thank you very much. And there was, I think the next one's T-Bone. T-Bone Ponderosa. Yes. I'm new to trading. When you go long on a stock here on the stream, how long are you holding it for? Days, weeks, months, years? Every trade on the stream is a day trade. Every single trade on, and if we say anything longer than that, then we're 100% talking about like maybe a personal swing account or a personal retirement account, the other word I'm looking for. That's it. Like I have a day trading account here. I have my TFSA, which is like tax-free savings account. That's where I do most, like actually all of my swing trading. And then I have a retirement account. Here we call it an RRSP. But here, every trade, we are supposed to be out at the end of the day. Sometimes people get caught and you get a little grace period. You can get out right after market if there's liquidity. But these are purely day trades on a prop floor. So that's always the plan of action. And you'll even see us, like it's 320 now, like at 350, usually looking to wrap it up, maybe only make trades going into the closing imbalance. That's just par for the course. Yeah, this one's into, I haven't even looked at it. Shoot, there was supposed to be, I think there might have been something today. We'll look at the early look. It's not even 330 yet though, but we're into VWAP, which was the target on Coin when it made its breakout. So it's very similar here. If I'm taking a trend break, wow, I'm literally trying to type Coin another level too. And I'm gonna look for VWAP right here. So there's a topping tail. If we lose VWAP here, then I'm just gonna jump out. Gonna just watch the tape on this one. Not even gonna put a trailing stop in. Let's go to Adara.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know. So XYZ, we already talked about this. They put out their guidance. They're talking about that guidance now, though, on the call. So again, it was already announced. Now they're talking about the guidance. So sometimes as we see things recirculate and disseminate again, stocks can move. Just be aware, we already got this guidance here for Block. They are expecting low 30% range growth here through 2028 for their adjusted EPS for the year. And they're just saying that right now. So again, individual here, this Block Investor Day, they are currently restating this guidance that was just announced. Back to you.
Put multiple orders, it rejected, and then I put like 2 more.
Yeah, you better make sure that your computer is IBIT.
It's only at 90%.
There, okay, it's only.
I guess that's pretty high.
That's all right. There goes Tesla, by the way. What's up with that?
What?
Nice move. 4 bills up to 406 right now. I mean, we've got Nvidia, so nothing to complain about on that front. But yeah, there goes Tesla. Beautiful move off that 400. I mean, and again on the note of stickiness, we have 400 written down, and we didn't take it this last time, but there it goes, man. 400 to 402, definite zone of demand, and we nailed it, man. We nailed that now. That was been a couple times you could have just really had that trade. So good job there. Thank you again to our good friend Tesla, as it just continues to, I guess, make more money here than thought off of that move. But Nvidia's having a little bit of a problem at 197. I don't know. I might as well still stay in this, right? I mean, there's no point in exiting this trade right now. It's a good one. It's starting to head higher. You know, we have imbalances. I have about like just under 10% left. Was not really expecting to get this. Well, I was expecting to get it, but right into there. So we offered that there at 20s, and then there's that 50 fill. That was a big out. So like the $1.20 was big. So that was good. Pieces out there as we continue to take questions from everybody on the stream. Let us know there. We do have that video dropping right after 4:30, so make sure you stay tuned to see.
And we'll remind you on the.
Yeah, we'll remind you guys
obviously
on it. And it'll just most likely just flow right over. So you don't have to do anything.
Feel it flow.
You guys are lucky. It's gonna be Neil and Adara tonight for the Nvidia, and then we'll have tomorrow another Toronto's top host happens tomorrow. Yeah, there it goes, right?
XYZ is open, Z. XYZ is opened up, and 5% higher. Looks like it opened and it actually went straight down. I have it as a 61 open, like right at the actual high of the day, and starting to pull back in here. So like they're presumably potentially still presenting. I don't know, I'm not listening to it right now. But if they are, just keep in mind it could be a little volatile. I'm assuming you're gonna have some some kind of like adjustment period while they try to work these new numbers in here. But XYZ, that's been just kind of looking at a higher time frame chart to see if there's any big levels. You're still in the middle. Not really. 62.5 and then like 59 would be prior support. Palantir, I said if I saw it losing VWAP, we do a scalp trade just like over there in Coinbase. Same thing. So this is the trend break. I missed the trend break, so all we did is wait for it to pull back into what would have been the entry. It did, thankfully. And then when it started making an uptrend, there's a bottoming tail into that uptrend. Grab it the next test of the bar, scalp to high, scalp to the next level. Probably going to wait until we see some early looks for another trade in here for sure. And Wayne, Nvidia is expected at 420. However, you know, some companies are on the dot. And they tend to be pretty good. Other times, I think maybe a couple of quarters ago, we were waiting for Meta until like 440 or something. Like Adair and I were on there and we're like, look, we're not going anywhere. We're gonna sit here. We just kept talking until eventually Zuckerberg figured it out and they reported. I remember being disappointed in how much it moved because there was a lot of, I guess, anticipation for it. But yeah, we're expecting 420 for Nvidia. Stick around. No, we'll be there. Palo Alto reports, I believe, at 405, so we'll have their numbers. There'll be a lot to review. Going to want to check to see what happens with Block ultimately here. Like, is it able to hold some of these gains? Not bad for Block, 4%. This stock is stunk. Right? Like Block hasn't been good for a while. The same thing as PayPal. Neither one of them has been that good. Maybe this is a bit of a turnaround for them. We'll see.
I could see that happening there for XYZ Block. But yeah, nice to see a better guide, right? You're always looking for that. So that's what's going to turn, we talked about what's going to turn NVIDIA. It's going to be some kind of a guide that I think fails. And, this goes. So let's be careful with it. All right, just talking about NVIDIA, like I said, man, we have less than 10% left of this trade. I think it's like 7.5%. We just touched the 21 period and didn't work out there. Didn't fail on it. So we bounced off of it is what I'm trying to get at. So I think maybe like if we drop through 126, I'm just going to use the 50 period here. Let a little bit of it ride. Let a little bit of this thing ride. On NVDA, right? And so hopefully that will continue upside right now. IBIT's giving a little bit back. We might as well put a stop right here. What about that high rate in there, 50.67? I'm going to make sure I don't have another stop out for it, which I do not, so that's good. 50, oops, yeah, I just put 60. That's how you make a mistake. 50, wish it was $60. Let's just go 71, right? Again, less than 5% left on this one. And small amount on NVIDIA. Let's look somewhere else. Tesla continues, man. 406, 407, nice pullback into 404 right now. Is AMD following trend here as well? I mean, 223, nice upside play there for Advanced Micro Devices. It was down 4.5%, now only down 3%. And it's always going to make you seem foolish, right? We talked about that as well, that you sell at a certain level, it looks good, and it's only good if you buy it back, of course, because if you're able to buy something back at a lower price, then good on you. I made the mistake of buying SMR back way too early, and I am debating right now putting some money back into Oracle at some of these levels as well, because I got out on this bump, which honestly, like when it filled, I was like, what in the... I just put something near, because we came down on Oracle, down into 280, and I remember we were just sitting here, and then thank you to Adara actually on this one as well, because Adara was like, look, Oracle's in a lot of trouble. So I just put an offer. Yeah, like I owe Adara basically like $100 per share here because...
Thank you. I'm happy to help. Even if my help is just me really disliking Oracle.
Yeah, but I mean, you gave a case for it, and so I just put an offer here just ahead of 320 and got 319 this day, actually, and then it was almost like immediately started to pump lower. So yeah, pretty good there on Oracle, all the way back into the 200 period, which is pretty good because that's back to June. But remember, there's stocks like Meta, and there's stocks that are down near their April lows. So I don't necessarily want to buy this name right now, but it is at the 200 period, and that is generally thought of as a spot where if you were thinking about something, you can nibble just a bit. Okay, so Just back about, I know you're on Coinbase right now, and that's still starting to go back up. But Adair, there are some questions about XYZ. So instead of like,
It's just been a new high today.
right. So instead of Neil and I sort of just sitting here talking about it, well, Adair will prepare like just a little, synopsis maybe of what just happened with XYZ, because I know they gave an update on their guidance, right? Multi-year guidance update. Okay, so just like that, we go to Adair.
Yeah, so I put this in the chat as well just a couple minutes ago, but basically we do have, or not even a couple minutes ago, like a minute ago, but XYZ, just so you guys know, they did announce that they're expecting their adjusted EPS to grow in the low 30% range annually through 2028. So by 2028, they're expecting adjusted EPS of $5.50 per year. Now by this year, fiscal 2026, they're expecting adjusted EPS to reach $3.20.
Pan when their next report is supposed to be? I could just check.
Yeah, I have to look. I don't remember them reporting actually, but
that's why I'm asking, because I don't remember them reporting.
I think they're late.
Where is?
I think they're always late on their reports.
Doesn't it usually pop up here where I'm pointing?
Oh, I got to go to calendar.
Oh, where the heck? Oh.
Find it here.
That's it's not that big of a deal, but I'd be. Sometimes you get these updates, and if it's close enough to an earnings report, you start to be a little bit worried.
They already reported.
Okay, they already. That's.
Yeah,
I feel a little bit better.
on the 6th.
Okay, I feel better then.
Yeah, so they reported 54 cents. They miss. So they report 54 cents versus 67. That's a miss. Revenue slightly better. Down 20% on the miss and down 40% on the EPS growth. So, I mean, it's just so funny how they just reported 13 days ago, and yet now they have updates and they guide forward. Like, what changed in 13 days? Like, I don't know, man. There's so much shady going on.
I think it's a little bit, like, I don't like either, but to me it's shadier if you try to drop the good news right before the report. It's like, okay, well, you're dropping the things that you want people to hear.
It should be in the report.
In front of it, and then usually the report comes out and there's something really bad in there that they were trying to get out in front of by driving the stock price up. So it cuts either way. For now, it's making some new highs, but the 6% that it's up, look at a daily chart. I think we all, yeah. 6% is
not much.
But it really isn't much in the.
Where's November 6th? So it got hit.
November. Oh, you could. It barely moved.
Really? Right there.
Well, okay. There
what do you mean barely moved?
Okay, there it is. I was looking way too far away. Okay.
Well, they missed by 30%. They missed by 40% on their EPS, and they come out today and go, nah. We got a new accountant that seems to know what they're doing, I guess.
Well, this does give you a level, though.
Now we're going higher.
It opened the next day at 63 after that earnings, so that actually gives you something to target off of. Like if you look at, like if you go to that earnings day, here's $63. So see it kind of hold the open range, then hold the afternoon, and then break down at that price. So if it's not through 63, then how much can you really, really like this is the way I would think about it. But enough of that. I'm going to go to the early look. Ooh, Palantir didn't hold VWAP. So here's the thing. Like two trades that were very similar, both get out at VWAP. One, seemingly the right decision. The other, seemingly the wrong decision. But you kind of just have to, like if you hold both of them, then one follows through, the other doesn't. You get out of both of them at VWAP and they both work exactly the plan. It's just whatever is your way of doing it, you just do it, but try to be consistent with it. Is 332 sock sell once again shows up on the imbalance locator. I'm tired of saying that BMNR is on the locator. This time I'm, whatever. It hasn't really moved the last couple of days despite being almost 1 million shares, but it is 1 million shares to sell. QBTS is an early look, 900,000 to the buy side. IonQ, 700,000 to the buy side. Uber, 700,000 to the sell side. Oh, I skipped CNQ. CNQ is a sell of 2 million. And GM is a buy of 1.3. That said, these two, GM and Pfizer, typically meaningless when they have large imbalances. It tends to not really move the stock ever. So those are the big ones. Probably the, I'd say like QBTS and IonQ might be the most interesting, but these aren't huge at all. Swamp Rat interested in Dell.
Okay, Swamp Rat.
Swamp Rat asks, any thoughts on Dell back to last earnings prices with 6 days to their report? I don't know what good we're supposed to say about Dell.
They guided bad.
Yeah, and they just got a couple of downgrades on them as well. I think it was this week, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it was
SMCI.
was it Monday? I think it was Monday.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they got,
well, it was only
they got
Wednesday.
some downgrades.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be Monday. They got some downgrades on Monday as well. So going into the report, they're in a bad place. And this is one of those, I think it got maybe a little bit too frothy names being up like 250%, and it's still in settle down mode. So I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole for me before the report, but I don't own Dell shares, so it's easy for me to say. But I wouldn't want to touch this one before the report trying to guess on anything. You're going to get NVIDIA, and maybe you get a little bit more color on how strong the stock is if NVIDIA heads to the downside. If NVIDIA goes up, it might not tell us much. But it'll tell us something if NVIDIA goes down at least, and you might get some more information tomorrow going into that report. If you own it, I don't think, like if you own it in the long term and you like it and you believe in the story, then I probably, like I don't, but if I did, I'd probably be buying the 200 period because that's just how I roll. But I don't, so I wouldn't necessarily. It's just not a company I like, generally speaking. What is SMCI doing? Because we just mentioned that. Right.
SMCI?
Well, you just zoom in. It's just a.
All these stocks, maybe. I mean, it's such a big.
This one's nowhere near support either.
We are now just 25 minutes away, guys. You know, from
the extravaganza.
Yeah, the extravaganza that is Bitcoin earnings. No, Nvidia earnings. 89.4 right now. Bitcoin doing well, man. Remember, we are going to stop out of IBIT pretty soon. So if that does break, that's a level of concern for IBIT right now. What up, Adara?
Yeah, just be aware here, guys. Keep an eye on Netflix. I'm just seeing that apparently the MLB, Major League Baseball, has locked in new 3-year media deals or media rights deals, ESPN, NBC, and Netflix. So NFLX, one of 3 entities that MLB has locked in a new 3-year deal with. Back to you.
And then, you know, they had they did have Friday nights. No, that was Apple.
Apple has the cool broadcast.
Yeah, maybe Netflix doesn't. Was Netflix, right? I never
Apple.
seen.
Yeah, Apple. Netflix never.
Yeah, I've never. Yeah, so I was gonna say, good call. I've never seen Netflix with baseball. So.
Kind of like, look, Apple's broadcast is kind of good. Apple's doing some really good things in streaming.
Yeah,
maybe I'm just saying.
Now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, Pluribus. Did you see Pluribus yet?
I love that show.
Yeah, so I'm only on episode 3.
It's only been 3.
Oh, okay. So that's what so we've done 2. We're on 3.
I don't even know what day it comes out. To be honest with you, what did you say? So it comes out tomorrow. So on Thursday.
Yeah, that's an Apple one. That's an Apple Ridge.
I don't know what time.
Apple Ridge. Well, they come out in the morning Thursday. I don't think they launch it at certain times.
No, because Netflix is they punk you like Squid Game. You had to wait till 9 p.m.
They do?
For the last episode.
Oh.
I was literally like watching it on my phone as I'm like, going through the evening routine and stuff. But you should do it in the morning. Something else I was going to say. Netflix.
Let me see what this vote is at right now. Oh. So I was actually going to say like, what, Bobble? Did you write this? You put Bobble here?
Oh, I meant to say Bobble. I probably typoed it.
I'm just joking. But yeah, no, so I thought this would be more 50-50, right? We got 61-39 right now, green versus red.
Oh, we missed this.
So that's kind of interesting there. What will NVIDIA do tomorrow? If you are part of it, man, make sure you do subscribe because you can't vote unless you subscribe, right? So I'm going to say 21.4. It did change 21.5. It got worse against us, so that's not good. But yeah, green or red. Look out below or what bobblehead. I got an Alejandro Kirk bobblehead this year. That was pretty cool. 61%, 39%. And, so there we go. We are now out of IBIT as that stock went into the gates of hell. And man, did we trade that one pretty good there today. IBIT on the short all the way down in. And then NVIDIA is now $2. And I hope that you guys had this trade. I talked about it as I was putting it on. And here we go, upside now for my good friend and all of our friends, I feel like, NVIDIA. Will it be a friend of ours in just a matter of time? That's what we wait for. And we wait for the imbalances to come out. Should be interesting to see where that imbalance goes.
Even if it goes down 10%, it's still going to be our friend.
Yeah.
I don't think we're that deep into the AI story anyways. It doesn't mean you can't pull back more, but like, come on. Compared to the .com bubble, there's a million charts you can go look at. I'm sure there's lots of people on Twitter that have been posting this stuff. But like, if you try to compare them, it's like we're a third of the way, relatively speaking, in terms of like the growth and the spend. So I think there's still room to go, but healthy pullbacks happen. Ian Respeto with the super chat. Thanks for all the super chats this afternoon, everybody. What do you think about Microsoft for the long term at these levels? If you like Microsoft, I don't see when a stock you like pulls back 15, 20%, it's almost at the 200 period moving average. I'm just going to double check. because Microsoft, I do not know off the top of my head what their P is right now. Okay, they're pretty much everything. Forward P 31, P is 35. I'd probably lean a little bit lower. Like once that gets, like the forward's 31, so to me, when it gets in the 20s, you're buying, and DCAing or whatever. And for now, I'm probably waiting to the next report of the 200 pre-moving average. If I think it's still a little bit pricey, I usually wait till the 200 pre-moving average. Once it starts getting to the point where it's like, this is where I want to start, like in that low 30s, then just start like the old DCA at that point, right? Like when Meta dropped in the 20s, it's like, okay, well, got to do it. But I don't think Microsoft's necessarily there yet. It's a little bit more expensive than I thought. I felt like this might have been closer to 31, but it's actually still at 35.
E?
Yeah, I thought for sure it was more like 31.
Okay, well, we'll have a look at. It's still pretty good. I mean, again, the PEs are based on, like, I've seen different PEs on.
That's the. I should check FinViz.
Right. So different PEs, different strokes, as they say.
Because what's interesting, I use FinViz, like if I'm at home or whatever, and I'm doing my own stuff, I always just use FinViz.
Okay, so double check it on FinViz. That's probably a good idea. Okay, actually. What do you guys use out there for PE checks? Because, I mean, I just use Benzinga, but I think that we should be always double checking them because we talk almost in so certainties. And they should always be.
We've seen them wrong before.
They should always be the same.
See?
And literally a ratio.
See, FinViz has the forward PE at 26.
Oh, forward PE.
Yeah, but they have the PE at 35, which is the same, but the forward PE is 31 on Benzinga, and it's 26 on Microsoft, on FinViz.
Yahoo shows 34, some people are saying.
That you gotta have someone should have just a consensus website. There used to be for remember for short floats, there was actually a website.
Yeah, and they sponsored us. Wasn't it floatchecker.com?
Yeah, floatchecker, and you could just look at. They would have all the 4 or 5 major short float sources, so that you could just say, hey, which one? What do you trust? One of them, or?
I just quickly, just a little bit of an update right now. This is coming back in again. We have about 7.5% of this stock left, but if this breaks 186.25, I'm going to get out. So 186.24. Let's just mark it out. The rest of these. Don't worry about it. And so that order is now locked and loaded, as we're going to go out at the high of the day for myself anyways right now. But yeah, so I feel like this probably stops out here. So not much to do other than potentially stop out on this. And, don't ever want to, stop out on anything. But if it does hit, we've done well carrying the day here on Nvidia, right? So the only thing I was always thinking about was at what point do we maybe just start to eventually hold everything until it breaks through the 50 period? Like if I held everything this whole time and didn't even get anything out, even if I hold 70% and only use the 50 period as an out, that's something that I'm working on to see if that makes any sense. So that would be a little bit of a concern for me to do that. And if it does wind up working out, that is something that I want to do more of, try to find better outs. But there it goes, Nvidia, straight up to the upside there. I don't know. So I bought a small amount of Boeing at 200.
What's going on?
Basically 200 flat. I don't.
It can't get going. That's
Boeing not getting going is a problem. But yeah, I don't. Puns aside here, Boeing is not making any money. Like I obviously know that, as an investor here. It's not that we're doing things blind. But yeah, they haven't really been participating too well here. In the profit side of things. So they don't even have a PE right now. So Boeing, they got the okay to go up on their planes. So I think they went from 37 to 40 something on, was it the MAX 737? I don't know. But so I thought that was going to be a good sign. But see what I said, falling back into an area where I thought there could have been some kind of support. So I did stab at this a little bit. So we're going to be down almost 7-8% now on that trade. So, if it comes back into here, then great. I remember back here, I was bidding 120s because of this, and then it came in and I didn't get it. And that went to 121 or 122 and then just shot up. So I am really aware of some of the moves that Boeing can do. And I know this can get ugly before it gets any better. So I am going to now have to turn my patient hat on and have some patience down in here to 160. Before we do anything else with this guy, Boeing. But thanks for asking about that. Embraer, a good name.
Yes, they are undercover, man. We always talk about there's only 2 games in town, but Embraer is the chart is gorgeous. The only thing I'm kicking myself for was not buying it, just for posterity. Like I told everyone I was going to take that break in Beyond Meat and looking for like a move from $1 to like 90 cents. Why can't I zoom? That as far as I can zoom out? All right, whatever. I'm not even going to bother going to the other time frame. It didn't get to 90 cents. It went to 95. But then it came back to barcoding in here, so I just got out on the midpoint, adding some liquidity. I might revisit this tomorrow if it tries to break down another time. There was someone that asked a weird question in the chat. Don Baca, I tried to find it so I could put it up on the screen, and oh, there it is. First time on the channel. First off, welcome.
Yeah.
Always excited to have new viewers. Stick around. We're going to have the market recap with Nvidia earnings. Every single day is exciting. I hope you enjoyed the morning with us, afternoon, midday, of course, with the boys. Tomorrow you get a treat if you tune in because Obi's going to join Joey Options as well.
Oh, boy.
But you look familiar. Did you do any time on the Chicago trading floors? Absolutely not. I've only ever traded here at this prop firm in Toronto. Well, I mean, actually, you know what's interesting? Even when I went out to, like, there was a company, there was a floor in Halifax where my brother lives, and even when I went out there, I never actually sat on the floor and traded. I visited the owner and stuff, but I never actually traded on their floor. So I've only ever traded here, not at home, only on this prop floor. There's been different locations in Toronto, like there's a third physical place we've been, but no. And I've never even been to the CME, believe it or not. Now, some people have gone down to the CME or to the NYSE and checked it out. I've not done either of those things either. So, yeah.
Yeah, CME. I like to go to the CME, and
it would be.
We have a standing offer to go to the NYSE. I just got to take some time off and go there.
One of us always has to be here. We shucked that rule one time, and we never heard the end of it. And it was, and it was like a Friday afternoon on opening day. And the Jays were playing at like 3 o'clock on opening day. And we just both took the afternoon off on a Friday when nothing was happening. And then we got told we
now we have much better.
No, I think we're good now.
All lined up here. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we just got stopped out. I hate saying that, but we did get stopped out on Nvidia, and it's a pretty good stop out too, right? 30s. Well, our offer was 20. Was it 24s? Yeah, we got 23s. So there it is. So complete the trade on Nvidia as we get ready. As we keep on talking, we are heading into now the hour of power. Well, we're already in the hour of power, but we're looking for these imbalances to come through pretty much immediately. So when those hit, then we'll have some comments on what is going on with those. Yeah, so far Nvidia continues to have a nice move higher. We were looking at Tesla earlier, I believe, as well. That had a nice move up to VWAP and then faded out there. AMD was in the doghouse pretty much all day, and looks like that may continue here into the close as we made a nice move. We didn't even get to VWAP. I just showed you a couple names that did exactly get to VWAP, and not much going on there. So yeah, only 3 minutes left right now in the day. So we're before imbalances. So we're excited for that. Let's just see what happens now with some of these imbalances here into the close. And yeah, you have them up. So.
With only 2 minutes to go, actually, believe it or not, the one time you don't look at it, BM&R did grow a little bit to 1.7 million to the sell side. Ooh, was that there before? I could be getting old. I don't think Lennar was there before. 1.8 million to sell on Lennar. What's interesting is that's not even a lot of paired volume and well over 10% of the day's volume on LEN. So that, BM&R, CNQ, I would suggest BM&R. I know I said I wasn't going to look at it, but it's growing, 1.6. It's not going crazy. Volume's only okay. But if it starts going ham, down 9% today. Well, this will be SSR tomorrow. This was down over 10%. So this stock will have the uptick rule in effect. It does right now. It'll have the uptick rule in effect tomorrow. If you don't know what the uptick rule is, interesting. It used to be a kind of like NASDAQ wide when I started trading. It just means that you can't, like if you wanted to go short, I don't know why I have this on Comcast. If you wanted to go short here, CSA for whatever reason, and you wanted to hit the bid, you could only do so if the last print was green. So there has to be an uptick, and then you can hit the bid. So anybody that's actually selling has to be long. Otherwise, there needs to be an uptick. It just makes it a little bit more difficult for people to just start hammering short by just hitting the bid, hit the bid, hit the bid.
Right.
I actually think learning during the uptick rule was good. Because what it allowed, it forced you to, like sometimes the market would be tanking and you couldn't just like pile in. You had to be able to short the pops, be able to get fills. And it wasn't that easy. When the market was trending down, it was actually really tricky to make money, but you did learn, you learned patience because if you could only short pops or up moves, it taught you a little bit of patience. Obviously it's a little bit annoying. I don't love the rule altogether, but it was somewhat helpful, I think, in learning a few things.
Yeah, good. All right, so I actually have to get the imbalances ready to go here because I don't have it set up properly for myself. So I only want to see the ones, I don't want to see these BKR ones. I want to see only the ones that actually hit the market. So here we go right now, getting ready to rock and roll now. So join us. Just a couple seconds, we'll look at these as they'll all come through. I think the important one to look at probably on a day like today would be Nvidia. So let's have a quick look to see if anything's going on here right now for NVDA. Now just 20 seconds away, and we'll be able to hopefully see something coming through right now on Nvidia, but here we go, 10 seconds left, and then we get to see what winds up happening. So here we go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Balances are now out. So we'll have to wait to see what winds up happening here. Looks like a nice little downside push for Nvidia. So I actually don't even see it on here as a sell. Netflix is a buy. Rivian, Costco, Marvell's a sell. So there are some sell sides.
Alphabet's a pretty big sell.
Yeah, Alphabet's okay.
1.7.
Rivian's a sell. Oh yeah, Google's the highest one, 1.7. I'm just surprised I didn't see Nvidia, but there's a nice move down right there as well. So far so good there.
Yeah, Netflix, 1 million to the buy side. Hey, we never see Netflix on here. That's another benefit of the split. Because usually Netflix would be way down on the list as like 100,000. But now it's 1.1 million to the buy, but that's very mixed. So Google sell, Intel sell, Netflix buy, Cisco sell. I guess it's not mixed at all. It's mostly sell side. It's just Netflix standing out. This is mostly sell, but we just got the total number, which is 260 million to buy.
Okay.
Really? It's kind of all sells here. I trust it. The number's the number. Yeah, okay, fair enough, but it looks like almost everything we're looking at is sell side.
Yeah, I mean, Nvidia's coming back in. I mean, as we get ready for earnings, we still have that talk here on the board, right? Like, is this going to be an upside play or not right now? And it was 61.39 or so last time. So still the same, 60.40 right here. Will Nvidia be green or red? Join Neil and Adara at 4 o'clock, which is moments away, and we will have the update of Nvidia shareholders are looking for, and that is, or the whole market right now looking for that kind of an update. So yeah, so far so good here. You know, again, the market has been a pretty tipsy-turvy one today, as the NASDAQ even went red, and it looks like we'll go out. I mean, barring anything crazy happening, we've seen it happen before. NASDAQ will be green today, as will the ES, and that will all change, you know, as we get Palo Alto. Don't forget about Palo Alto today. They're coming through as well as Nvidia. So good day overall. Gold, we're going to go to Neil in a second. I just want to check out what was going on with gold. So kind of flat on the day. And then we did have a crazy silver trade here, 46 long. We didn't even trade that today, and it looks like it does break and have that low of 45.70 or so. 46 long would have worked, but you know, probably would have got stopped out for sure on that break. So, all right, so far so good as we head into the last 5 minutes.
And for too long, everybody, you know that trading has always meant risking your own capital, at least for a lot of people, or maybe not having enough to begin with. That fear of losing kept lots of traders on the sidelines, and it's changing because Trade the Pool is transforming how traders access those markets. With the limited risk trading model, traders use funded capital while Trade the Pool absorbs the downside. This allows you to focus on what matters: discipline, consistency, and growth. And when you hit the profit target, you can keep 70% of the profits. No fear or barriers, just real opportunity. This is the revolution of limited risk trading powered by Trade the Pool. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now to get 10% off your first evaluation. Shout out to them. And look, we all know what we're waiting for. We're all excited. Palo Alto reports in about 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes. And of course, PANW being best of breed, which is what you want to be focused on, is the singular and most important thing that is going to happen after 4 o'clock for the stock market. Of course, none of what I said is true because all everyone cares about is Nvidia. I'll probably spend at least a couple of minutes talking about Palo Alto. Adara's going to have the numbers for you like we always do. We'll take your questions. Of course, Understandably, we'll look at some sympathy plays. Nvidia does move the cues. You will see them move. AMD is probably going to move. We'll certainly look at things like Broadcom, which we would expect to have some juice to it as well. A little bit of a bounce coming in. Remember at 355, should have said this before we did all that. At 355, any of these imbalances, like if you're watching Netflix 1.2 million, this is a time when they might pair off. I'm not saying for sure, but still 1 million shares on Netflix buy, Amazon 1 million to the buy side. You might have a little bit of a flip event or a pair off, and that can change. I don't even know if Netflix is going up. Talking about it, I should let you guys know. It's not really moving. But if you were long Netflix into this, just watch out for that 355. Sometimes you get that pairing event for sure. We'll see what happens. Nvidia's not dumping, Elliot, is it?
Well, not really.
No, it's not dumping. Like, we've seen stocks dump going into earnings. This is not dumping.
There, Nvidia just flipped over to a buy. Well, I think it was always a buy, but we're going to wait. Because at 355, if there's any interest.
It grew. It's not, yeah.
Right. If there's any interest, this thing should pop
big.
Very soon. So right now it's 354.45. So let's see. If this grows right here, then you're going to see it, you're going to see something special here for Nvidia. Like this could be 188. If this gets bigger, it could flip to a sell. That's generally what happens. 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch Nvidia's price right here. Yeah, so down. So probably didn't do anything, right? Yeah, just went away. Yeah, no bids, no sells, just paired off. So somebody flushed that into 186 or so, got rid of that order, and now there's nothing on here. So if it does show up again, here it goes. If it does show up again, then we can see Target with a buy. They're going to end the day down 2.5. So they actually end the day where they started. Target got green actually at the beginning of the day. We don't see that happen too often. J&J's at all.
Meta must have flipped. Where's Meta?
I don't know. What did Meta do?
Meta just had a nice
Amazon.
handle.
Amazon's a bid. Now there's AMD. AMD with a nice bid, 224 going upside. Amazon with a nice bid as well. So yeah, what were you looking at?
No, Meta. Look at Meta's candle. So Meta did something.
Wow, yeah, okay.
I just scanned it. You probably saw me scrolling. I didn't even realize it was on my shot as I was scrolling through. I could have sorted by M, but it would take me just as long. Clearly, there is some buy action on Meta. Probably a flip or an imbalance. Not that I saw one. It's a $600 stock, so it's not usually going to have the biggest imbalance over 1 million shares. But either way, Meta. To say it's catching a bid, I mean, come on. The chart looks great because I was showing you the pop that it just made. But if we're being real about it, this is another languishing day for Meta. It's got two green days since reporting, and neither. Oh, there's a third one in here. Look how bad that green day is. It stinks so bad. It was basically flat. I couldn't even tell it was green. And in neither one of them are impressive at all. So it's been mostly downside. You couldn't have lost money just shorting it every single day since. Well. You shouldn't have lost money. Shouldn't say couldn't. You
always can.
There's always a way that you could lose if you shorted this every single day. It's possible, but it would have been difficult to have lost money shorting this every single day. That's the better way that I should state it. But they're not the ones that we care about right now. We care about Nvidia. We care about Palo Alto. And in about 24 minutes, we should get those earnings, the latter. And then the former, of course, stick around. That'll be very, very close to after the bell. And Walt, well, I hope it's treating everybody well, this WSHP. We sort of warned people about how dangerous this stock is. What I don't know about this is when a stock is up 600 and whatever percent it is, hopefully they can't do, or you'd think because it just came to market, it's not like they can do a raise, but what it can do is be down any amount of money that you can, like this could be down $100 tomorrow. This could be down $70 tomorrow. This could be up $150 tomorrow. And there is no good way to actually figure these things out technically. All you can do is make sure you bank some profit and don't get yourself burned. It is halted. It will not open until 4 o'clock. That's how the rules go. If a stock halts within the last 10 minutes, the opening print, regardless of 5 or 10 minutes, is always at 4 o'clock. And then there's no halts after market. Oh, I should actually, what am I doing? I'm going to mosey on up to the desk. It's 3:58.
Left or right?
Get locked and loaded.
All right, good show. Good luck with
Nvidia, baby.
With the earnings, of course. And not that you need any luck. We just report what happens. So Adara and Neil are going to do that today for you all live. So get ready for that. Nvidia earnings coming live on this stream right now. You don't need to disconnect. You don't need to do anything. Just stay right here, and you'll just get turned right over into the stream. And yeah, we'll celebrate that Nvidia earnings day here in just a matter of minutes. And we can watch Nvidia here into the close if you want. 186, 187 right now. yeah, it's starting to go. We did have a nice little pull down here on Nvidia just a couple minutes ago, down into 186, and it looks like we're going to go up $1 from that point. And yeah, and then just watch out here into the close. People buying puts on this, people buying calls. Remember, the expected move is about 7%. I actually tweeted that out, and it's obviously, I've retweeted Adara's research stuff here as well, so you guys can go find Adara's notes on NVIDIA on TTV Research, or I retweeted it, so not that that matters, but it's there as well. Professor Sean, yeah, here it is right here. PANW, expected move 7%, expected move 7.2% for NVIDIA, so they're looking for 54.59 billion in revenues. The implied move 7%. Prior move was nothing off earnings. So there we go. Go find it right now. And it looks like it's doing nothing heading here into earnings. And, you know, the day was pretty good with only 30 seconds left. Let's just do a quick little review. NVIDIA, Microsoft, Berkshire, JP Morgan up 1.4. Eli Lilly, brand new all-time highs there today, $1,050. Wow, congratulations. Eli Lilly shareholders, great. Caterpillar, a nice move today. Tesla winding up green. Amazon, from the depths of hell, gets green today. They were down 2.5% or so. Nice move for them. On Oracle a little bit, 2.5% for Oracle today. Broadcom up 4%. Thank you so much for watching. Only 5 seconds left. 4, 3, and of course this bell brought to you by Trader TV Live. Ring it. All right, thank you to Ogen again for sponsoring. Go check them out, Ogen, on your NYSE stock market exchange. Hey, Fabian, you're always going to get. Fabian loves this stuff. Thanks, Fabian, for all the work, man. Fabian's the guy that built that board for us and continues to do lots of, yeah, there it is in the background, the Tesla, everything like that. All right, enough of me, really, honestly. Let's go back over now to the desk. It's going to be Adara, it's going to be Neil, it's PANW, it's NVIDIA, and it should be a big one. Get ready for your stream, get your popcorn out, crack one, because you got a couple minutes before NVIDIA comes through. But I'm going to throw it over now, just in case it happens. Ciao, everybody. Good luck for your positions.
Thank you, Sean. And maybe we need a little bit of luck, but we don't need luck. We need Jensen to deliver. You welcome to your watch party for NVIDIA earnings and a little bit of PANW, because I like PANW. What can I say? Go Bills in the chat is already excited. I see you in there. May the force be with NVIDIA. May the margins be with NVIDIA. May the 50% growth, well, they're expecting 54% revenue growth year over year. May that be with NVIDIA. May all of the AI spend be with NVIDIA, because I think the market's going to need it here. We have been in a little bit of a pullback. Like the fact that there was some buying going into this at the end of the day, but I don't know how much that matters. And we're expecting a 7% move, so a buck here, a buck there, so far heading into the close. That's great, but it's not really explosive. 3%, it was a good day for NVIDIA. I do want to remind everybody, you got to consider the fact that NVIDIA, as always, is a bit of a market leader. Yeah, go figure. The biggest company in the world is a bit of a market leader. So we are going to be looking at some sympathy plays as well. You already saw in AMD get smoked today going into this print. NVIDIA up 3, these guys down 3 and looking a little bit weak. So, you know, this is worth watching as well. TPS reports say, yeah, let's get some more circular accounting with NVIDIA. This is the thing that makes it exciting. Everybody usually has strong opinions when it comes to NVIDIA. And this AI, if you want to call it a bubble, if you don't, fair enough. I think there's a valid argument to be made that when all you do is print money and it piles into the exact same trade, that you are creating a bubble. That's an easy enough thing to say. I tend to think we're a little bit early on for something to get popped, but that doesn't mean that I'm exactly right. People do believe this is a bit of a bubble, and we get a little bit of maybe confirmation of the move or lack thereof in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, so NVIDIA is very timely, guys. So it will be 420. There are some companies that are not super timely. Apple and NVIDIA, I find, are right on the dot. So Apple's always at 4:30, usually on a Thursday, and NVIDIA is always at 4:20, usually on a Wednesday. With that in mind, on X at TTV Research, right at 4:18, I've already timed a post, in case you guys aren't already here, to remind you to join this market recap, because it's going to be great. Thank you all, almost 11,000 of you, for watching this. I have some infographics before we get into the earnings. So I'll start with Palo Alto, because they're reporting first. Here's our earnings preview for PANW, and I have these fun little earnings preview infographics for just a lot of these earnings names. If we can go to my screen whenever, so I can show this. Thank you very much. I want to talk here about PANW. So last quarter, revenue was a slight beat, up 16% year over year. They did beat on adjusted EPS, so it was a double beat. Did have some net income, though, contracting on a year-over-year basis. And we'll have to wait and see here with regards to what they give us this quarter. But last quarter looks like a little bit of a mixed picture for PANW. Now let's talk about NVIDIA. Because NVIDIA, I'll show this infographic, and then I'll show the one that I think is more telling for NVDA. So 56% year-over-year revenue growth last year. Quarterly revenue growth up 6%. Adjusted EPS were a beat. Data center revenue up 56% year-over-year, and net income up 59% year-over-year. Now, why this concerns me is, as I said in the recap, I made this infographic because I was kind of curious. This is like their year-over-year percentage revenue growth. And as you can see, this kicks up hard when we have OpenAI releasing ChatGPT. Like, that's when we start to get this growth crazy accelerate. Then we do like a crazy plateau. Like, this is the most on-the-money plateau I've ever seen. And then it declines pretty heavily. Now, we're still growing year over year, but the amount that we are growing is contracting, if that makes sense to you guys. So that's what this infographic intends to show. You can find all of these, as always, on X at TTV Research with our fun NVIDIA Green.
Leave that up for a second. But what is actually still happening, which I think gives you at least a little bit of hope, is a little bit of a flattening. But what's interesting about it is our last, that little curve down was flattening out, and then last quarter was a little bit of reacceleration. I think that's part of the problem. It looked like you were flattening out that growth, and all of a sudden, no, it then held steady. So I think that's the kind of nitpick we might be looking for today. But part of that is exactly why I feel everyone playing the options, I don't know, man, that 7% expected move, I kind of feel like you end up on the inside, and then everyone writing is the winner, and then everyone just gets sort of shaken and shake, rattle, and roll. We'll see. We still have about 15 minutes to go. We have like PanW should be. I haven't seen the numbers yet.
I haven't seen it either. I was just about to tell somebody.
No, but it's moving a little bit here. So PanW's starting to pick up a little bit of steam. I saw a spike to the upside, but I can see the tape right now. It's not looking like it's really out, but there was a little bit of a spike. So the earnings aren't really out for PanW. We're expecting them in about pretty much now. And remember, PanW, they're best of breed in the cybersecurity space. And of course, that's going to be a big, important. It's not the center of the AI trade, but you can't sleep on it. These are great performers out there. I know CrowdStrike's been a little bit better, but PanW should be out soon. Starting to see the spread open up. Sometimes when the spread opens up, it can mean that the market makers are anticipating it's starting to come back in. The numbers are going to come out because they don't want to make a market and get run over there. What was so funny? Did I make it?
You said spread, and so I got excited about the spread.
Okay.
Because
gotcha.
Here's what I do. No, I need to calm down. It's too gimmicky. But yeah, we'll see, though. I still don't have Palo Alto earnings, so I don't have anything else to add. I apologize. You can carry on. No,
they're late. And here's the thing. 420, we expect, and we always get them on time for NVIDIA, but some of these other reports, and I'm looking at you, Mark Zuckerberg, are not always as timely. Again, like the book is that, see how I said book this time, is now at $2 here bid ask. So it looks like there is a little something happening here. But still nothing yet on Palo Alto. One other thing I want to keep in mind that you should keep in mind, you're going to see the Qs move around a little bit when we get these earnings, and specifically more so with NVIDIA. So for some people, they still like to trade in the ETFs and the futures after market. This will be a Qs moving event because NVIDIA, and same thing with the SPY, NVIDIA is too big of a name not to have it be a big deal. What's crazy to me, maybe it's not that crazy, is will NVIDIA be green or red tomorrow? Now, we're talking about at the open. That was our poll, which is still up, actually. So you keep your votes coming on in, everybody. Like, jump in, hit the like, hit the subscribe. We always get some great numbers and record numbers anytime we have NVIDIA earnings for good reason. 64% think NVIDIA will be green at the open tomorrow. 36% say look out below, it'll be red. I actually voted red. I mean, ultimately, I really just more think it's going to be more flattish than anything. That being said, you had to pick red or green, so I kind of forced my way to the other side. Still waiting on Palo Alto.
Regeneron's halted, apparently, post-market news pending. I don't have anything, but Trump did praise them for how they handled COVID today. So that seems like maybe 5 years too late, but shout out to Regeneron.
Ouch. Ouch.
What? Me or Regeneron?
That was cold-blooded.
Well, I mean, it's just weird that you'd thank them now. I mean, it makes sense him saying right now that Kelly Ortberg's doing a good job at Boeing. My man Kelly is still there. Regeneron, that's past tense, right? Also, SMCI with some news. So, Neil, you think the market would just let us live NVIDIA in peace? It's not. NVIDIA earnings day has to be everybody else. CRNC has earnings. Shout out to Teja Kata. I just want to let you know that's what happened there. I don't have any more details, though, but they did just report. SMCI rolling out a new 10U air-cooled server powered by AMD's Instinct GPUs. Also, for people talking about my laugh at the spready ticker thing, it has nothing to do with get your minds out of the gutter. It's because I trade spready stocks.
Yeah.
So for people who are making those jokes, I trade spready stocks. I like the more expensive stocks with like $1, $2 a spread, and mine's out of the gutters. Gotta do it. You gotta do it to us someday.
Well, I mean, let's be real. We have a very fun and active community in the chat, and we love you all. Just always try to keep it clean, but I don't know. That's
It's okay. I thought
that's
it was
where
funny.
When I said it and then people were reacting, I was like, oh shoot, what did I just say? Phrasing. That's what it was just like, oh, phrasing.
I just thought it was funny. That's because I was like, I'm not like people, say what you want to say, just keep it as clean as possible. But I just thought it was funny because I'm like, that's not at all what I meant either. But we don't have Palo Alto.
What are they waiting for?
We don't have Nvidia either. CRNC, a lot of people are asking me about, so I will CRNC what they reported. Apparently, they beat the upper end of their guidance. Q4 revenue at $60.6 million in fiscal 25 revenue. $251.8 million, both at the high end of their guidance. I believe they had an Nvidia tie-up at one point, but that was a while ago. But that's also just off my top of my head, so I could be wrong on that. Initial fiscal 2026 revenue guidance of $300 million to $320 million. That does imply 23% year-over-year growth, Neil.
Yeah, and making a great run, 28% to the upside here for CRNC. But like I'll always say this, because maybe some people are in this one, you got to put things in a little bit of context. Like when it got almost cut in half from recent highs, and look at the support. So kind of bouncing off some prior support, maybe not all the way down to $7, but close enough to it. And so you're bouncing into some pretty heavy areas, the 200 period and the 50 period at the $10 level first, and at the $11. And if you can do better than that, like sometimes what'll happen is you'll just float on a small capper to the first point of resistance, because there's not a lot of liquidity. Like I'm looking at the book, and the book is non-existent as we speak. So we're still with PANW finally.
Yep.
Yeah, finally, Palo Alto. Oh, that's great. We get to wait for you to go down. That was lovely, Palo Alto. We're only down 2 points, but we lost the $200 level as low as 195 a couple of seconds ago. Finally, we get those earnings.
Yeah, so let's talk here. We got fiscal Q1 revenue here, 16% year-over-year growth. So that's the same growth as last quarter, $2.5 billion. That is a slight beat compared to what I was seeing, but apparently they rounded that up on their actual report. So apparently when you read in more detail, they reported $2.474 billion, which is an even slighter beat. So narrow beat, here are the full numbers from Benzinga. I was just actually reading off their report, which is why it was taking me a while there. So Q1 adjusted earnings, 93 cents per share, beating estimates of 89. Sales, $2.474 billion versus $2.461 billion expected. But again, guys, I do want to remind you, revenue growth year over year was the exact same this quarter as it was last quarter, 16% growth. So we're not seeing increased growth. Sometimes the market does not love that. Their next generation security annual recurring revenue up 29% year over year. They're guiding here. I have their guidance, guys, for Q2. Q2 guidance for Palo Alto Networks between 93 and 95 cents. So in line with estimates of 93 cents. Sales are guiding between $2.57 billion and $2.59 billion versus estimates of $2.575 billion. If you guys have heard me on the recap, you know what word I'm going to use. Tepid. That guidance is tepid.
100%. And when you have a P, which was going into this 125, and a forward P of 46, the cybersecurity space has been expensive. Let's be real. You want to have a clear and solid beat on guidance, and you want to have
fiscal 26
growing revenue. Like this is not. It's not. It doesn't seem like it's going to be good enough. But the good news is they really flushed last time, and this isn't that bad. Cautionary tale, they flushed for multiple days on last earnings. Like they were down like 3 days in a row. So if this is the start of something, you got the 200 period sitting here. This is one where the 3-day rule is paramount for PANW. So tepid when you're expensive is usually going to mean downside, and downside for them really press that 3-day rule after earnings. So I think you got to be very patient with PANW. I'm saying that as a shareholder. I like PANW, but I don't think I'll be buying the dip on day one when it comes to this bad boy. You wait it out a little bit, maybe even a week, maybe even wait this one out a week to see where things settle back down, because it hit a brick wall, and you said tepid. I think tepid is the perfect word to describe.
Thank you. But yeah, guys, definitely don't wait to like and subscribe, because we have 7 minutes until Nvidia earnings, so like, subscribe. Excuse me. Thank you to all 11,500 of you, and thank you to Beta Pro by Global X for sponsoring this recap show. Let's talk about the fiscal 26 guidance for PANW, because they actually raised it. So they're now seeing adjusted fiscal 26 EPS 380 to 390 versus estimates of 381. Tepid. And they raised their fiscal 26 guidance to 10.5 bill to 10.54 billion. Drum roll, say it with me, tepid. So this guidance for the fiscal year, even though they raised it, doesn't really help, but they are going to be acquiring Chronosphere, which is a next generation observability leader for the AI era. And if you couldn't tell by how I said that, I don't know much about this company, and we don't as a society, but I'm guessing we'll learn more. Palo Alto is acquiring them. Also, Regeneron, I mentioned that was halted for news.
Yes.
We got the news, guys. So the FDA just approved their EYLEA HG for macular edema tied to retinal vein occlusion. So Regeneron getting some FDA approval, and shout out to my optometrist who one time was asking me about the Regeneron stock and told me that he missed like the best buying opportunity ever. I always think of my optometrist when I think of REGN.
What was the price?
It was like years and years ago, but he was at some eye event and he was like, I missed out. And I was like, this also seems like insider buying, but you know, shout out to you. But also, I do want to say too, Semtrex, CETX, apparently on watch through an SEC filing. They're going to be buying 100% of Invocon, so more M&A stuff. Palo Alto Networks again buying Chronosphere. Apparently, that purchase is going to be $3.35 billion. Luis Valencia asks for a shout out, so I will shout out Luis Valencia. Shout out to everybody in this chat, and guys, wait with us for Nvidia earnings. 11,400 of you, get those likes up, get those numbers up. Our Wolf of Wall Street shout out there. You got to pump those numbers up, and you got to tune in for these Nvidia earnings 5 minutes away. And again, exit TDB research. We've got all these infographics to prep you for that report adequately, or more than adequately.
Knock it out of the park right there. And if you saw me kind of cringe, I pulled up a daily chart of Regeneron. That's all that happened. No, when I see a bad-looking chart, whatever, man. When you're a trader, you look at the markets long enough. Because you said, oh, we missed a great buying opportunity. You pull up the daily. I'm like, when?
Yeah, that was years ago. He was like talking like
Yuckity yuck.
Maybe a decade ago.
We're all hoping that Nvidia, after this report, doesn't resemble a Regeneron chart. We would not want to see that, everybody. That would not be a good thing. But look, it's going to be. It might matter more. Forget about the move that happens right away. We get excited but sometimes about the move that happens right away. We're going to want to digest the numbers, and you're going to want to make sure you look at that guidance, and you want to see where that growth, or if we're still getting flattening of that the growth curve, because 50% is fantastic. When expectations are high, like you can't. If there's a 4 on that, and we're in trouble. And I think you could see this down, that 7%, maybe even a little bit more than that. And then there's going to be the sympathy plays as NVIDIA comes out, because AMD is going to be awful. Well, if they go down, AMD will be bad. I think AV Broadcom as well. You got to be able to pay attention to that. And TPS reports that daily on Meta is absolutely awful. Oh yeah, TPS. First of all, TPS, you have a name like that, you're going to stand out in the chat. Don't only mean to answer like certain people, but always stands out. And I'm a huge Office Space fan. It's one of my favorite comedy movies of all time. It's in my top 10. The easy no-brainers, Office Space is in there. Tropic Thunder is absolutely ridiculous. I think that is freakishly hilarious. And then there's The Jerk is pretty good. That is fantastic with Steve Martin in there, but yeah, I can't get too far past some of those classics. Airplane's ridiculously fun.
Airplane's great. Airplane's great.
Airplane's up there for me.
It's so good.
But Meta, that's a nasty chart. Like, this is crashing down right now. And if you think this is just going to be about the chips, well, the hyperscalers could move on this too, right? So you got to consider, like, you know, you keep an eye on Meta, which is already languishing, Microsoft as well, Alphabet, Amazon, all three of them for sure. Willis Addison in the chat with a super chat. Ooh, I'm going to hit the like on that one. Can we throw that one up? I don't have that. There we go. Margins will be a problem for NVIDIA. You have put. That's another number you got to watch. Right? Like, what happens when everyone starts eating into your share? What happens when you get a little bit more mature. You can't keep having ridiculous margins forever. That does compress, and that is one of the numbers that you have to watch out for. And I feel like with Nvidia, and we're about 2 minutes away from them reporting, exactly 2 minutes away. If they're on time, they should be on time. With Nvidia, it might just take one simple factor for it to be down that 7%. It could be margin.
Yep.
It could just be enough of a slow in growth. It could just be a revenue number. I think it might be the guide. We'll see. And certainly Jensen always has the ability to talk it up in the conference call.
He's great at that.
But we already saw him talk it up a couple weeks ago.
Or today, or like literally Trump talking about it today. And then saying to Jensen in the audience, oh, hey, there's Jensen. Oh, yeah, you guys, who's beating Blackwell? Nobody's beating Blackwell.
Nobody.
And then he also posted in rapid succession 3 Jensen Huang quotes, some about Trump, mostly about U.S. manufacturing. So, yeah, I can't believe it, Neil. Less than 2 minutes until this report. 420, NVIDIA's logo is green, so it fits the 420 vibe, and maybe we get a green move for this stock. Je ne sais pas.
I hope it does. Oh, do you love me, NVIDIA? Shout out to Rick James. That's the second Rick James reference I've made. I'll try not to make another one.
Do you love me?
That's not the one I'm thinking
I know.
of.
I'm thinking that but we'll be in our feelings if NVIDIA misses. So isn't it perfect? Jensen, do you love me?
I'm thinking about Mary Jane. Look, Rick James is my go-to with the karaoke. I'm just keeping it real. Hopefully, we're all singing a good tune in less than 1 minute now. They tend to be on time. You can already see the tape accelerating here in NVIDIA. As some people that like to trade this, maybe they're positioning. I think you're crazy if you are trying to trade in the aftermarket. Can people make option bets? That's one thing. But if you're actually trying to trade this book, you're going to see the tape go ham in a few seconds here. When NVIDIA jumps, Adair is going to have the numbers just as fast as we can. Come on, NVIDIA. It's 420 right about now, and there is the explosion. To the upside, it's tepid. We've been saying tepid a lot.
Guys.
We're up $2. I saw Obi. You saw Obi in there?
Yeah, Obi's
what up, Obi? So we got a couple of bucks up to 189 and holding now up to 190. Adair, what do we have?
Record quarterly revenue, $57 billion. My estimate showed $54.6 billion. That is a hefty beat. It's up 22% quarter over quarter and 62% year over year. Data center revenue, Neil, it's a record $51.2 billion, up 25% quarter over quarter and 66% year over year. 90s. So that is actually looks really, really great compared to, as you can see here on this infographic, we had like 56% year over year data center revenue growth last quarter. Now we're getting 66%. What I said we wanted to see from NVIDIA was accelerated growth. And what are we seeing? I think re-accelerated growth. Let's talk here. Q3 adjusted earnings, $1.30 per share, beating estimates of $125, and sales massively beat estimates here, $57.006 billion versus $54.88 billion expected. That's a beat. Gross margin in line.
Look at this tape.
Gross margin in line. But I mean, given this great report, we're not going to care too much about that. 74% gross margin versus 74% expected. Data center sales, hefty beat, as we mentioned, and up 66% year over year. Let's talk about guidance, though, Neil. Q4 revenue guidance here, $63.7 billion to $66.3 billion versus estimates of $61.98 billion. That is a nice guidance beat. That is an EPS beat. That's a revenue beat. Tepid? I don't know her. NVIDIA certainly doesn't.
It ain't tepid. And they've been blowing out every even dollar. I mean, someone's been sticking to every even dollar level. I'm just staring at, they just took out 150K. Someone just threw 100,000 a single order at 195 and just got blown out. The tape is absolutely wild, but those sellers are getting chewed through. Like, I haven't seen a single sell order that was holding it up at any point. Like, they're throwing them out there and they're just getting absolutely chewed up and spit out. Now, remember, it's an expected move of 7%. So if you do see repeated sellers at 195, that would be the spot to hold.
Oh,
that's where people are going to be making some bets here. So we have some comments from Jensen Wong. This is the key price at 95, at least considering the expected move and where I'm seeing some sell pressure.
Yeah, so Jensen's saying Blackwell sales are off the charts and cloud GPUs are sold out. So that's good. I mean, again, Trump already also hyped up his Blackwell, so we knew Blackwell was good. Apparently, literally off the charts. So great look there for Jensen Huang. And what's been a really eventful day for Jensen Huang, you know, casually getting hyped up by the president multiple times, hanging out with Elon Musk and having Elon say the words gajillion zillion next to him. It's been I think he said a couple words like that. The point I'm trying to make is it's been a great day for Jensen, and he's ending that day with a nice crown with this earnings report.
Well, I will say this. There's a saying I like to say on the show. It's okay to be wrong. It's not okay to stay wrong. Michael Burry, heed those words, my friend. We'll see where we are tomorrow morning. Obviously, I have no idea what he's doing. I haven't a clue, to be honest with you. But the selling at 195, when I say they, just understand that I'm looking at the tape and someone just kept refreshing it. It would break 95 and you'd see it go to 96, but that was kind of irrelevant. All of the selling was happening at 195 bucks, and someone was just repeatedly selling over and over again. Eventually, they were able to break the bid, at least temporarily. So where we're pulling back into, well, we haven't actually even found a bid, but if you're looking at, I'm just going to show you guys the daily very, very quickly here. Like, if you were going to pull back into a major level, you'd be looking right around this 193. So I want to see if buyers actually step up in this range to hold a bit of a higher low. So you've rejected the expected move of 7%, so we still have a bit of an inside day. And remember that 195, that becomes an important place tomorrow. So it is. Look at the beat. Gross margin was maybe the one thing that wasn't perfect with it. But the question is, can you hold on to some of these gains? Right now, I'm seeing the buying step in where you'd almost like it to, 92 to 93. So technically, it's being defended where you want to see it defended. We have some more numbers?
Yeah, I mean, for once, I have to shout out Obi saying reversion in the chat, because clearly the reversion man has spoken. It looks like it could be
shorting, Obi.
At least short term. But let's talk. I'm sorry, got to call him out. Shout out to Obi for keeping us entertained in the chat, even when he's not here. But yeah, so Nvidia Q4 2026 GAAP and non-GAAP gross margins expected to be 74.8% and 75% expected, respectively. So if you're saying, Adara, what do you mean Q4 26? Nvidia is weirdly a whole fiscal year ahead of us. So they just reported Q3 26. So it's just for next quarter. Operating expenses, they're expecting here roughly $6.7 billion and $5 billion, respectively. So that's interesting. Again, GAAP and non-GAAP. Other income and expenses, yes, I think the biggest thing here, non-GAAP gross margin, 74.8%. Q4, or 74.8% GAAP, 75% non-GAAP for Q4. We had 74% this quarter, so that's a slight improvement. Nothing major, nothing massive, but also nothing that we didn't want. So great look, Obi's saying nom nom. So I'm guessing the shorts are eating right now, potentially at least short term.
Well, I was telling Obi, first of all, Obi, I know you're in the chat. I just typed to you right there, but tell me you saw that, because the mechanism of what happened up there, there was a big, massive hold seller at 195 several times that you would have seen on the book of Nvidia. And then all of a sudden, they let it break. Well, they didn't let it break. They got filled, but they let it break. And when it did break, it pressed into 196, tried to tag it, and then somebody jammed. Right? So it's like, let it break the level, and then whatever you were selling at 195, sell even more to break it back down through. So that's what happened to Nvidia. You're starting to see it lose that. Remember that 93 we said would be key? So there's 93. That's the level that you need to hold. Well, now you've got, this is a 3-minute chart, but clearly you have a bit of a head and shoulders in the 3-minute with that 193 level starting to come in here. We just got a super chat from Jim. First of all, thank you for the super chat. You're day trading, swing trading with 100K since, here, I'm just gonna read off my screen, it's easier. Since November 3rd, you've made 15 trades for a total of 5,448 in profit, or 320 a trade. You learned a lot from us, learning your process, taking quick hits, trying to ring the register. I cannot preach that enough. But you know what? For everyone out there, whether you're day trading, swing trading, or some weird hybrid of it, it's about being informed. It's about developing a plan of action. It's about staying disciplined, figuring out who you are as a trader. If you're like Obi, Obi's cheering because he loves mean reversions. That's what he's all about.
He's saying some wild stuff in this chat. I'm really entertained by some of these comments.
Obi's got to be Obi. He's a lot of fun. And by the way, Obi's going to be on in the midday tomorrow for sure because we're on vacation. So you'll get to see more of the reversion champion, Obi, on the live stream. No, but just make sure you figure out what it is that is your strength in trading, or whatever speaks to you. It's just pattern recognition, and then find a positive expectancy and then repeat it. But if we're looking at the nuts and bolts here, you can't point to much of anything that was bad, I think, in particular. So some might be disappointed that you're not going to hold more than a 7% move, but I would venture to say that in this particular case, it's still a positive. But we need to hold the gap overnight. We've seen a few times this earnings season where everything seems good, looks good, sounds good, and the price is fantastic, and then you come in the next day and it's like, what are we doing? Like, all of a sudden we're flat. If Nvidia is flat tomorrow after this report, I would be very disappointed. And I said, I promise we do this. We only have a couple of minutes in here, but if you should know this by now. I mean, Nvidia to the upside, bit of a bounce here in AMD. My thesis was that if Nvidia was down, AMD would be screwed.
Oh yeah.
Or sorry, I meant to say crushed. It doesn't really matter. But with a move here, slight move to the upside on sympathy. Broadcom, if you're looking at some of the other names out there, Broadcom up 5.5%, right back in through some of the highs it made earlier in the session. And thank you, KC526.
Thank you so much.
Another super chat.
We had another
Amazing
one, too.
day. Thank you, Trader TV team and the chat. Yeah, give yourselves a pat on the back, everybody. We have the best viewers out there, the best trading community out there. Trust me, if it's your first time tuning in, it doesn't get any better. I can tell you with 100% certainty, this is no cap. At least 5 or 6 times a week, some stock that I'm not even looking at, someone's like, hey, have a look at this, and then all of a sudden I see a really good trade. And I wasn't even looking at it, and I think I do a lot of preparation in the morning, but we have the best community out there. We're always trying to help each other out. We have another super chat in here as well. Oh my goodness, that's right. We got another treat for you. We have a new fresh video dropping literally at 4:30, everybody. I almost forgot. We're so excited about NVIDIA and the move to the upside. Thank you, Dave, for the super chat. But it's talking about all of our journeys, all the hosts on the show that you see live trade. We will have a video dropping literally in seconds. We'll talk about our growing pains because everybody has them, our journey. And it was a fantastic way to, I think, start the new exciting program, which is coming.
Yep.
But you know what's up, everybody. It is 4:30 here. I want to thank David. We just got another super chat in here as well. We appreciate all of the super chats. We appreciate everyone in our community. Adair, any final words?
My final word is thank you guys for being here with us, and don't go anywhere because Jensen's had his time in the sun. Now it's time to watch this awesome new video. It'll be Neil, Sean, Brendan, and Sharif. So don't go anywhere. It'll be there right now, and we'll be here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. So don't miss it, guys.
That's what we do. NVIDIA has been fantastic. Hold those gains, everybody, and check out the new video dropping right now. Hope you enjoy it. I pity the fool that doesn't watch the video.